Go ahead, Brother O'Shea.
Verse 4 and 5. Go ahead.
You shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances to walk therein. I am you are your Elohim.
No. Let's listen to what Caesar says. Caesar says, do this, we can do that. You have to use wisdom here, Mishpachah. We're not saying that you don't follow the laws of the land in that context, like paying your taxes, keeping the laws of the road, not going out there and causing issues. Because in the prophecies, it tells us we will be in captivity to live peaceable amongst the nations. That's Jeremiah project right there. It says, live peaceably.
And you know, one example of that, who can we think of as an example being in captivity like we are today and kept the law, statutes, and commandments and didn't give a hoot
I wonder who that could be, Rabbi.
about what the government was saying? You know, a lot of people in the little coloring book in church, you color the lion in the den, and you color
Some bones on the side.
You color all those things in church.
And the flames that was in the fiery furnace. But we forget, we don't connect that these were our people that stood up for righteousness, regardless of whatever the HELL, the other nations said. I am going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, no matter if I was thrown in prison, boiled alive, beheaded, shot in the face, murdered, whatever gruesome thing you could think about. You shall do what? Do my judgments and keep my ordinances to walk in therein.
Only a few will do that.
Only a few.
God is the way that leadeth to destruction.
That's right, Elder.
A few,
Tell them, Elder.
Verse 5.
a few going to be dead.
You shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am you are.
A few of
Ms. Bakar, did Abraham live in them? That's the question. Did Abraham live in the law, statutes, and commandments? Did he walk? Did he keep them?
Yes.
It's amazing. It's really.
Let's
really
read it right
amazing.
here. Genesis 18 and verse 19. Brother O'Shea, did Abraham did it? Let's read it and see.
I have listened to camp leaders who say having another woman is sin,
But
it's wickedness, it's lasciviousness, it's whoredom, it's all these things. But
in the kingdom,
when the kingdom come, we'll do it. I'm like, so you're telling me that all these things you say here is wickedness,
There was one brother.
but the wickedness is going to be accepted in the kingdom to come. Make that make sense to me.
doesn't make sense. Again, Mishpachah, we're just teaching you the law, statutes, and commandments. I wanted to see if somebody can show me a law that's telling me that if I have more than one wife, I will be sinning. I will be breaking the law. So I'm showing you everything that when I bring this to people, this is what they bring to me. They bring Leviticus 18. So I'm going to explain it. This is what we're doing. All right, read Genesis 18 and verse 19.
For I know him,
The Most High knows Abraham.
that he will command his children and his household after him.
Not only his household now, but after him, meaning he's going to pass on those very laws, statutes, and commandments and recommendations and requirements. He's going to say, I want you, Isaac, to tell Jacob, and I want you, Jacob, to tell the 12, and I want the 12 to pass it on to us today.
If that was money being passed on, everybody's going to be on board for that.
Everybody had the handout.
What's that?
The money. They want the money.
They want the money. You know, pass it on. Grandpa, where's my money? Where's my property? Grandpa?
I'll be right back.
Yes, Elder, go ahead and say what you got to say.
Abraham speak to his children. He speak to Ishmael too. All the laws and commandments. He passed it to them. What happened to them? They didn't follow. They went astray from that. Right?
Uh-huh.
They didn't.
Absolutely.
They went and married other wives. They do all the other things. That is why he said, look, I put a spirit upon them. The Lord said, I'm going to put a spirit upon them. They're going to stay away from me. But you Israelites, I put my spirit in you.
I have often said, when Jacob left to go to Syria to go meet with his uncle, Laban, because Mama told him, listen, Esau want to have you dead. He want to kill you. Get away from here. When Jacob got there, he prayed and says, if you are with me, Elohim, the Elohim of my father, I will give 1/10 of what I have unto you. If you are with me, he said. Jacob did not go with the intention of looking for more than one woman. He did not go to try to get cattle and animals and riches and all that stuff. The riches and all that Jacob left Syria with was because Jacob was what? Obedient to the Most High. The Most High gave him those things. Abraham didn't go into Egypt looking for another woman, not even Sarah. The Most High gave him all those things. Abraham had enough sense to know when Sodom and Gomorrah, when Lot was taken captive with the war with the kings. Abraham says, I don't even want the people. I just loose my people. I don't want the clothes. Just let the people go. Right? The kings want the people. Why didn't Abraham say the same thing when he was in Egypt? Why didn't Abraham say, I don't want Hagar and I don't want all of these slaves. I don't want these slaves. Why didn't he do that? Why is he only picking and choosing? I don't want this one from Sodom, but Egypt, I'll take what I got from Egypt. There's a reason for everything, Mishpachah. Yes, Elder. Want to say something?
Yeah. The Lord put on your heart and O'Shea to bring those, he chose you to be a shepherd, a leader, right? But the people, remember the people what they want. That's what they're going to follow. They will listen to you, some people, and they will not follow. You see, you could bring the sheep, the goat, or the horse or the mule to the water.
Can't make
them drink.
No, you're right. You're right.
All right, let's finish verse 19. For I know
him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of Yahuwah.
They shall keep the ways. That means everything that he has passed down, we will do. All that you say, we will do. Go ahead.
To do justice and judgment, that Yahuwah may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him.
So where or when did he spoke of Abraham? You have to go back to the book of Jasher and Jubilees, Mishpachah. If you want to get... when you go back, you'll see the Most High put everything and organize it all the way down. Okay? Moses sat down for 40 days and 40 nights, and the Most High showed him all of the histories. He showed him exactly who his granddaddy was going to be. Some people think Moses was before Abraham. I didn't remember Abraham came first.
And the gospel was preached to Abraham before there was a gospel.
Ah, boy. Let's look at verse 6.
None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him. To uncover their nakedness, I am Yahuwah.
We're going to dissect this to have the proper understanding. None of you Israelites shall come into any of your near of kin. What is near of kin? What is near of kin? We're going to look that up. To uncover their nakedness, I am Yahuwah. Now, verses 7 to verse 24 specifically targets sexual practices. This is what this is dealing with. Detailing a variety of scenarios that could happen. Because the Most High already foresee everything's going to happen. So he told Moses, I want you to put all these in the law, so if this happens, we know how to deal with it. Okay? Because we will be scattered into all these other nations, such as the Egyptians and the Canaanites, etc., America, where we are today, Roman, Grecian, all the empires that we fall underneath, that we were going to do some of these same bad activities, which some Israelites picked up as bad habits. This type of behavior leads to what? Sodomy.
Yeah.
Hence the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, which were two Hamite nations. Now, let's go forward so we can get proper understanding on this now. So, none of you shall approach to any that is near of kin? So before we continue, let's clarify what near of kin is and how and when this applies. So the question is, what about Abraham? Did he commit incest? 'Cause that's another thing another person brought to me. Like my brother, Abraham committed incest. That's a sexual sin. So Abraham sinned. I said, Abraham never sinned. What are you talking about? He committed incest. Do you understand the context of near kin and the culture of that area? Because we are not in that area to understand the culture. It's frowned upon. And we're going to dig deep into that, okay? Abraham was a friend of the Most High. From birth, the Most High had already established who he was going to be. And he was selected. And he was chosen. And he was taught in the house of Noah and Shem all the law, statutes, and commandments. And then he was given the task to be the father of what?
Many nations.
Many nations.
Can I say something?
12 nations. Yes, Elder.
You know how what just come to mind? What I observed there. Abraham had one son.
It says your only son.
Elohim had one son too. What happened between these two? That is why he became a friend of Elohim, because he followed the footstep so close, right?
Mm-hmm.
So close that nobody else on earth never do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mishpachah, let's dive into it and let's get some understanding about near kin and did Abraham commit incest? Let's see. Genesis chapter 11, verse 26. We're going to get the backstory. We're going to go in the book of Joshua and we're going to see the life, a brief snippet of Abraham so we can understand about multiple wives and all these other things. Brother, we have to dig deep just to get this for y'all. Go ahead.
And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran.
So that's three brothers under Terah. Terah had three sons, Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Verse 27.
Now these are the generations of Terah.
Uh-huh.
Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran begot Lot.
So now we see the next generation that Haran had a son named Lot. Verses 28.
And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees.
Now before I go into Joshua, do y'all know why Haran died? In the chat, do y'all know why did Haran die? Brother Barry, I know you might know. So Yasha said he was burned correctly, but why? Why did he die? His papa turned on him. That's right. Let's pull it up so the Mishpachah who don't know will know, and then there will be no excuses. Because when you know, now you know. The book of Joshua, chapter 12, verse 21 to 26. We're just going to go through it so we can have the backstory properly. 21 to 26. So let's go here.
Everybody in the chat good? Everyone is good? Anybody feeling uncomfortable? Okay. All righty.
All right, go ahead. 21 to 26.
And they brought them both, Abram and Haran, his brother.
So this is, let me get a quick little backstory. Abraham, you remember the story? Abraham broke his father's idols?
Yeah.
And he destroyed them. And before that, the demons had told these so-called unwise men that if Abraham lives, he will be a nuisance to you. So Hashatan from the jump knew that the seed of Israel was to be attacked. This is why the prophecy said, when we go to Revelations chapter 12, it talks about him attacking the seed. And you go back to Genesis chapter 3, him bruising the seed, him trying to get the seed. Okay? It all ties back to this moment where Abraham is to be born and to be great. And the demons told the unwise servants that this man here, this baby will be a problem. Let's kill him. So Terah, his father, hid him and got a servant child and gave it to, what's his name again? Not Herod.
Nimrod.
Nimrod. And Nimrod killed the baby thinking it was Abraham. Years later, Abraham, now coming from Noah and from Shem learning, saw these idols and understood who Elohim was and destroyed his father's idols. And his father was upset, and his father went and complained back to Nimrod. And Nimrod said, wait a minute. I thought this guy was the one that was killed before. He says, no, I lied to you. Therefore, his two sons end up in hot water. This is where we're at now, verse 21.
And they brought them both, Abram, Haran, and Haran his brother, to cast them into the fire. And all the inhabitants of the land, and the king's servants, and princes, and all the women and little ones were there, standing that day over them.
That is how they always look at us as a spectator. Look, all throughout history, all the lynchings and everything, all the killings, every time it comes to Hebrews, the rest of the nations and the little ones stay there and they look and they laugh, right? Verse 22.
And the king's servants took Abram and his brother, and they stripped them of all their clothes, excepting their lower garments, which were upon them.
So they kept the fruit of the loom, so on.
Yeah, it draws. And they bound their hands and feet with linen cords. And the servants of the king lifted them up and cast them both into the furnace.
Now imagine you getting picked up and tossed. Is that a good feeling?
And Yahuwah loved Abram, and he had compassion over him. And Yahuwah came down and delivered Abram from the fire, and he was not burnt.
He was not burnt. Okay, let's see verse 25 and 26.
But all the cords with which they bound him were burned, while Abram remained and walked about in the fire.
So this guy is walking around in the fire, blazing hot.
And Haran died when they cast him into the fire, and he was burnt to ashes, for his heart was not perfect.
He didn't keep the commandments, so therefore he was not covered. Do y'all get that? Go ahead.
With Yahuwah. And those men who cast him into the fire, the flame of the fire spread over them, and they were burnt.
So that's all we need from that. So that's just a little backstory of why Haran got killed. And Haran is Lot's daddy. Okay, so Haran died. Let's see what happened next. Let's go. Okay, so now we can go forward now to understand who Milcah and Sarai was. Where they come from. Let's see where they come from. Joshua 9 and verse 3.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And she called her name Milcah.
This is the wife of Terah. Okay, go ahead.
And she again conceived and bare a daughter, and she called her name Sarai.
So Sarah and Milcah were sisters. Y'all get that? Okay. Go ahead.
Verses 4. Haran was 42 years old when he begot Sarai.
So why is the text, why is the records recording this? It's very important. History has to be recorded and is put there for a reason, Mishpachah. Why is it telling us, continue, which was
in the 10th year of the life of Abram.
Why is that important? What does Abraham have to do with Sarah? While Abraham was 10 years old, Sarah was being born. Why do we need to know that?
And in those days, Abram and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abram.
So this is the records of way before Abraham, how we see his life coming to pass. Now let's go down to Genesis 11 and 29.
And Abram and Nahor took them wives.
So Abraham and his brother went and says, you know what, we need some wives. I need to get myself a wife, and you need to get yourself a wife. Where are we going to get a wife from that follows our culture and keeps the laws we keep? Let's see.
The name of Abraham's wife was Sarai.
So Abraham found Sarah. Go ahead.
And the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah.
So we're going to see if Abraham was committing incest. We're going to break that down in a minute. Let's look at Joshua 12 and verse 44.
And at that time Nahor and Abram took unto themselves wives, the daughter of their brother Haran. The wife of Nahor was Milcah, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarai. And Sarai, wife of Abram, was barren. She had no offspring in those days.
Now let's go into it to see some visuals here. Here we have Big Papa Terah. He had 3 boys, Haran, Nahor, and Abraham. Haran had 3 children, Milcah, Sarah, and Lot. He got killed with a T because he was pitched into the fire. Nahor took Milcah and got married to her. Abraham took Sarah and got married to her, and Lot followed along with Abraham. Do y'all understand that? Put a 1 if that's clear, put a 2 if that's confusing.
Everybody put in a 1 so far. Okay.
Okay.
And remember that the Most High saved Abram, right? Destroying the other one that was not considered righteous.
All those things we had to consider.
So
Mr.
righteousness is not based upon your feelings.
Okay, let's look at the culture of what we have. Last week, I broke down what culture was. I'm going to go over it again for those who missed it because it's very important to cover. Go ahead and read arranged marriages.
Arranged marriages within Middle Eastern families.
So pause a minute. Would you consider Abraham to be a Middle Eastern family or Americanized, Europeanized family?
Middle Eastern, from the Levant.
Are we considered to be Middle Eastern, or are we considered to be what these nations call us, Mishpachah? If we say we are the seed of Abraham, what are we?
American.
I'm Jamaican. I'm Colombian.
British. Deutsch.
Think about it, Mishpachah. This is not rocket science. Rockets blow up. Science gets you the wrong answers. We're dealing with Torah. We're dealing with the law, statutes, and commandments. Arranged marriages within Middle Eastern families, go ahead.
Often involving cousin marriage.
So this is something that is practiced. You see, we live in a westernized, and we're going to cover that just now, a westernized society that frowns upon everything that the culture over there does. This is why there's a conflict and a war right now amongst these nations, because they're trying to westernize the world to bring the one world government in. And these worlds are fighting to keep the old world. That's why Trump said we're going to send them back to the Stone Ages, because he wants to destroy it to bring in the one world system. Anyhow, we're not going to go off on that tantrum. Let's go over here. Back to the cousin marriage. Go
cousin marriage, consanguineous marriage, are a traditional practice aimed at keeping assets within the family.
So they're keeping what in the family?
Assets within the family, enhancing stability and ensuring shared values. While common, these are generally consensual, with mothers often initiating the process.
So the women is the one going and finding the arrangements for their sons and their daughters, huh?
Well, when it comes to, you have it like in the case of Sarah, Sarai, she had a servant that was close to her and pretty much understood the protocol of how the house is. So you normally would take somebody who is closer to you and bring that one in, because they're familiar with the personal.
They know exactly.
They're promoting within a certain set. Like you would put your executive assistant that knows what the VP or the president is doing.
No, Rebbe, they're going to go hire somebody from a different company that does something totally different and have no idea what the business is about.
You bring the executive assistant in, and so because they're familiar with the process, right? So,
Mishpachah, we're going to look at culture in a second, okay? But understanding what this right here is not incest. We're going to break down what incest is. The process.
Traditionally, parents, particularly mothers, identify potential partners, often a cousin, and facilitate the introduction.
So this is something normal, and if it was something that was wrong to do or sinful to do, the Most High would have not put it in Abraham to do this, etc., etc., etc. This is why Abraham told Eliezer, go and find my boy, somebody from where?
Yep.
He didn't say go to some nation that looks good or feels good, because they want to carry on the traditions and the culture and the practices, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, reasons.
Reasons for within family marriage. Common motivations include strengthening family ties, securing property/wealth, and the belief that similar backgrounds make for a more stable marriage.
So this is what is happening here. The house of Israel has to be built. Okay? And the Most High, why would the Most High says don't go to these other nations but stay within? But how are you going to establish that if you have to go to the other nations and bring in things that are not good? This is why the term pedigree comes. This is where pedigree comes from. Numbers talks about pedigree.
Sirach talks about it too.
Talking about the houses of your father.
Yeah, know where the bloodline is, where your seed
The
is.
bloodline is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then Paul comes and says, don't worry about genealogy. That's not important. But you don't understand the reason why he's saying certain things.
Go ahead and read voluntary versus forced.
Although sometimes confused, most arranged marriages in the region are not forced.
You see? Now, this is the majority. But because they're trying to push a westernized ideology, we're going to see the rest of that. And I'm going to show you how westernized everything has become.
So in an example of Rebecca, Rebecca was not forced. She was asked a question, do you want to go with this guy? She said, sure. Right? She had a choice. She had a choice. As a matter of fact, with Tamar, she insisted that she would get the promise that was made to her, that was kept. She insisted on that thing. That she set herself, she positioned herself, she put on the garments to look a certain type of way, and position herself to get that blessing. Didn't she do that? And what did she get? Anyway, we are only Israel based upon it sounds good. It sounds good. But the work that has to go in to get all the blessings, nobody wants to do that kind of stuff.
It's too hard.
Yep. It's too hard, elders.
Let me make this bigger so y'all can see something here, because I want y'all to see what it says. What it says right here, Rebbe.
Incest is a sexual activity between close relatives, such as siblings or parents.
That is where incest comes from. But when you go beyond the next line of family, that's not considered incest. But there are contingencies for that. That's why you asked the question about Adam and Eve and their offspring. Where did they get their families from? How did it happen? This is the Most High's plan. But what the Most High is telling us is, don't do it the way the other nations do it, because they do it out of wickedness. It has nothing to do with bringing forth a nation, but everything is sexual sins, that when these other nations are doing these things, they are doing it vulgarly, wickedly, intentionally, to harm and to gain for their own intent. Has nothing to do with building a nation or keeping righteousness according to order. Okay? Let's go back over here now. Read that. While
some parents may hold traditional views on their right to choose partners, as highlighted in this Vice article on the topic, many modern arrangements require the consent of both parties.
Many modern. So today, they want to hear about your feelings and your thoughts. Oh, I don't like him because his nose too big. And it's not about his nose being big. It's about carrying on what the fathers has established, that you may have a future and the seed may not perish. Genesis 24 and verse 4.
But you shall go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac.
This is what Abraham practiced. Did he break a law? No. The Most High blessed him. The Most High put that upon him to do that. Let's read that.
I wonder why Jacob family didn't tell Jacob to go return them other 3 women you got with you. What you doing with all of these women here?
Send them back.
Send them back. Okay, consanguineous marriage, a union between individuals related as second cousins or first.
So the cousins, see here in America, there's something called kissing cousins. You heard about that, right?
Well, yeah.
Again, Mr. Picard, this is things that are done sinfully. When you have unsupervised children doing things, things happen. We're not talking about that. We're talking about things that are arranged in righteousness to preserve lineage, heritage. We keep thinking and looking from Americanized, Europeanized, Romanized, Grecian, feminized eyeballs.
Everybody's eyes.
But Hebrew.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Is a cultural embedded practice common in parts of the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia.
That's the regions where we're from.
While often chosen to maintain family wealth,
Uh-huh.
strengthen kin ties, and ensure social stability, children of first cousins have a roughly 5 to 6% risk of serious genetic disorders compared to 2% to 3% risk for the general population.
See, so you still have a risk 2 to 3% when you're married out there with the general population versus 5 to 6%. How high is that number? People will say, well, if you married your cousin, you might have a retarded child come out.
Not true. You can marry someone across the globe and have a retarded child.
That's what this is saying right here.
While the risk is high, it is not a certainty.
I wanted to put that out there so you won't think that I'm biased about this, because Brother Shea looked at everything, okay?
But remember what the title of the class is. We're dealing with what?
Sin. S-I-N.
Sin.
Now let's break it down, Mishpachah, a little more, because we're going to continue going through Leviticus 18 to get to Leviticus chapter 18, verse 18. Remember, that's where we're going, but I wanted to start from the top to see all the sexual sins to get to verse 18 to understand what they were talking about.
Also, as we read this also flushes out polygyny within the text. It's flushing out the prohibition when it comes to polygyny. Okay? Leviticus 18:7. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother shall you not uncover. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness.
So we clearly understand that you're not supposed to go and see the nakedness of your father or your mother. Uncovering your mother is just as uncovering your father. Do y'all understand that?
It's wicked.
Okay, let's go to verse 8 now.
The nakedness of your father's wife shall you not uncover. It is your father's nakedness.
Now this is the next verse. In one verse it's saying the nakedness of your mother, and in the next verse it's saying the nakedness of your father's wife. Can somebody tell me what's the difference of this and what is this telling me?
So your father's married, right? And
here's your father right here.
Your father wife could be your mother, or he also has a wife that is not your mother. So he has two wives, two different women. That's correct. Two different women. So he's married, but you can't uncover either one, because you may say to yourself, well, that's not my mother.
That's not my mama.
It's okay for me to uncover her nakedness. The Bible says no.
We're going to see what
forbidden.
Law. We're going to see what law was written for that. Because remember, we're talking about laws today. I want to show you the laws, because I'm trying to find a law that tells me I can't have more than one. But I'm going to show you the laws that tell me if I have more than one, what to do. So let's go.
So you see in the prohibition, even in the prohibition, it's telling you the legal aspect of how it should be done, right? Uncovering your mother or your father is prohibited. And even if your father has an additional wife, that's prohibited also. Now, some people will say, well, oh, Brother Young, you're wrong. Let's say that your mother died. Where does the text say that? It has nothing to do. Yeah, it's possible that your mama could die and he took another wife, but that's not what the text is saying.
A lot of ifs.
Okay? Because your father can take an additional wife.
We're going to see what law was written and why this was written. Okay? Everything that we see written here, there's a reason behind it. It's all in the book. All we got to do is look for it. Genesis 35 and verse 22.
And this is why, Brother Dawood, we're going to go through some things and flush out a lot of stuff. We're going to flush it out. This was a long time coming. We didn't want to get into this topic because, again, people feel a certain type of way about it, but we're going to flush out all these different things in the Bible, okay? All right. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in the land
So the nation of Israel were in the land. Go ahead.
that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12.
Now pause there a minute. Reuben is lying with, let me go back over here again. Reuben is not the son of Bilhah. He's the son of who? Leah. That's mama over here. And Bilhah is this one over here. Do y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go forward. So Reuben is lying with Bilhah. Why did Reuben do that, Mishpachah? What was his reason for doing that? Let's see. Because there's a reason behind everything. Everything is put there for our learning. Joshua 36 and verse 14.
And Reuben was jealous for his mother Leah.
He was what?
Jealous for his mother Leah.
Okay, on
account of this. And he was filled with anger. And he rose up in his anger and went and entered the tent of Bilhah. And he thence removed his father's bed.
Now he was upset. It tells you why. On his mother's account. Now let's see what Genesis 49 and 4 says, because we can talk about the birthright here also, which plays a very important role in all of this. Genesis 49 and verse 4. Go ahead, Ima.
You said that if another man, but no, it was a son, enter with the wife, then the father would not want to go back to the wife.
Right.
Yes.
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 It's the same thing that happened with David and his wives and other places in Scripture. Yeah. They're considered to be defiled. Yeah.
All right, let's look at a punishment that happened to Reuben because he defiled his father's bed. Genesis 49 and verse 4.
Unstable as water, you shall not excel.
You shall not excel. You were supposed to be the one to get the birthright, but guess what, buddy? You're not getting it. Go ahead.
Because you wentest up to your father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch.
Where you're supposed to be relaxing yourself, you went in and you disturbed your father's business.
Mess with the lazy boy.
Okay? So this is the sin that Reuben sinned, that the law was written because of that sin. Has nothing to do with having more than one wife. It's just talking about because he defiled his father's bed. Okay?
Wasn't she one of them that was having a lot of babies?
She was. And we're going to see that. All right, Joshua 36 and 15.
At that time, the portion of birthright, together with the kingly and priestly offices, was removed from the sons of Reuben.
So all of the birthright was taken away from the seed of Reuben. Reuben, you have been, like the stood in the movie with Charleston Heston. Struck. Your name will be struck from Egypt. Boom. You shall not call Moses no more. Boom.
Yeah.
So Reuben was taken out of the will for the blessing.
Certain inheritances.
For being the firstborn. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was still blessed. Go ahead.
For he had profaned his father's bed, and the birthright was given unto Joseph.
Uh-oh. Now we see some contentions here now. Go ahead.
And the kingly office to Judah, and the priesthood unto Levi, because Reuben had defiled his father's bed.
And this is one of the reasons why when you see the brothers being sold and all this other stuff, we see why Reuben was acting a certain way towards his younger brother. Okay? Mr. Picard, it all makes sense once you understand all of it. But when we have bits and pieces and Christianity is creeped up in us, we can't see it. Now back to Leviticus 18, verse 11, 12, 13, and 14.
The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, begotten of your father, she is your sister. You shall not uncover her nakedness.
This is why we talked about siblings. No siblings should be sleeping around with each other. That is the definition of incest. Now, when we talk about the earth being bare and creation was happening, the Most High put it that way to build a kingdom. And as the families got bigger, these laws were put in place to protect things as they grow. So we have to understand the difference, the line that's drawn, to understand white bread from wheat bread. Okay? It's all flour,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a difference.
One is deficient and one have all the substance in it.
There you go. Verse 12.
You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister.
Your auntie.
She is your father's near kinswoman.
Go ahead. Verse
You
13.
shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister,
That's your auntie again.
for she is your mother's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You shall not approach to his wife. She is your aunt.
Now, I highlight this part here because when people read this part, they're running back to where Abraham uncovered the nakedness of his father's brother, the children. It ain't say children, it's talking about wife. You see the difference? The difference is the children, they're cousins. They're not siblings or parents. That is where the line is drawn, Mishpachah. She is your aunt. All right, let's move. Do you understand? Put a 1 if you understand. Put a 2 if it was confusing. I need to know before I move on.
Brother Shea may have to do after the class to break down just this segment, this one slide. Maybe a 4-hour class just on this one slide.
Yeah, I probably have to do
And
that.
then you have to get the list of those Israelites who are struggling.
Struggle.
Right.
We have what you call after what you call
After school special.
after school program when you have to learn because
Summer school.
Summer school. Yeah, we have summer school. All right. So far, reading all of it in context, Mishpachah, we do not see anything pertaining to cousins. When we read from verse 7 all the way to verse 14 of Leviticus 18, we don't see anything about cousins, do we? We see father, mother, brother, sister, aunt, children, your sister or brother. You don't see nothing about cousins. So in context to when we talk about Abraham and going back to the Near Eastern culture, this is where we can have the better understanding of culture and what happens here, okay? Now let's look at verse 15.
You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife.
That's simple. That is simple. It's like you having your own child, okay? Verse 16.
You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness.
That's it right there.
Now, some have made the argument, I don't know if you're going to cover that. Well, you see,
The levirate part.
yeah. And they would read this thing here, and they will say the levirate marriage part should not be. But here's the part that they fail to put in the equation. The equation is that the brother must be dead.
That's the
Remember
question.
what John the Baptist was saying to Herod? Herod, you know the law. Even though Herod was an Edomite, they were all under the same Israelite law. He says, you know you cannot have your brother's wife unless your brother is dead.
Dead. That's
He
the key.
said that. You
That's the
know
key.
the law.
See, and as you mentioned that, Rebbe, that means
Yes,
that
Imam.
they don't know the law. When somebody come and tell you that, that means they don't know the law.
Imam?
Just about to say, just wanted to say that about uncover. I mean, just go and lift somebody's skirt or thing.
Yeah, no, that's just the archaic
From
way.
over there,
Old English.
Archaic way of keeping things hush hush.
yeah.
Like how, when you were little, you were told birds and bees.
Yeah, that's
And
what you call
storks.
Victorian. The Victorian way of keeping things secret.
Santa Claus is coming on a chimney. It's all the same type of
It's like,
stuff.
it's like Noah and his son. Let's see, cover his father. But he
Yes.
said his father awoke and knew what he'd done to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Violated his father, yes.
Okay.
All right, let's look at verse 17 now. Let's get into 17 and 18. This is where the meat of the of all of it is, Mishpachah.
18 and 17. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. And again, Mishpachah, polygyny is found in the text. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter.
Pause a minute. I'm going to even go a step further with another example to that. When the Bible says that you can have meat to eat, a nice delicious steak, there's a law that says don't eat the mother and the what?
The calf.
Together.
Don't
This is-
don't,
this-
don't cook.
This is along the same lines. It didn't say you can't have the calf or you can't have the mother. But it's saying what?
You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter.
That means together, Mishpachah. Go ahead.
Neither shall you take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter, grandchildren, to uncover their nakedness, for they are her near kinswomen. It is wickedness.
Wickedness. Because the other nations were doing this, Mishpachah. So you are the father here, and you have the mother and the daughter.
Wrong.
That is not supposed to happen. That is a law. This is what we're reading here. But it's not telling you can't have more than one wife. It's saying you cannot have the mother and the daughter in a relationship and become the husband.
If you're going to be married to the mother, the daughter can't be in this marriage. You can take someone else.
Yes.
So you can't take a package deal.
Nope.
Say, well, I'm going to marry the mother and the daughter. That is craziness.
That is crazy. That's
So
sin.
so that shows within itself
That is wickedness right there.
the legalities the Most High to regulate polygyny. If this was an abomination, why would he even say a woman and her daughter? Why would he say that? And then the granddaughter. Why would he say that?
Yes,
Well, I don't know who
a
was
lot of
doing
other
it,
nations do this.
But the other nations, they can do whatever they want to do.
But we are not supposed to be
as
like the other
Israelites,
nations.
we have laws that regulate what we are allowed to do, what we are committed to do.
Now let's get into verse 18. This is where everybody runs to this and say, see, Brother O'Shea, we're not supposed to have it because you're going to have two women fighting all the time. Let's read it.
Neither shall you take a wife to her sister.
Okay, pause a minute. So over here you have the husband. He has sister number 1 and sister number 2. The question is, why was this law? Because remember, we're talking about laws. I want to see laws that tell me don't do and do. That's what I'm looking for. So I found this law that tells me don't do this because of this. Because of what, Rebbe? To what?
To vex her.
What does that mean, Mishpachah? What does to vex her mean? We're going to see. Go ahead.
To uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime.
In her lifetime.
So even in this text, it's telling you that the polygyny is allowed, but it's prohibition as far as how it's done.
Rules and regulations to how it's done.
It's telling you how it's supposed to be done. Now, the reason is because of, it didn't say that it's wrong to have two sisters, but it's telling you the consequences or what it's dealing with is the vexation of her.
And we're going to see what it is. And Brother Mike, yes, it's not talking about sisterhood. It's talking about bloodline sisters. That's what we're talking about here, okay? If somebody want to be to go along those lines. So let's see what we're referring to.
But
now.
emphasis is on the vexing her, okay? The vexation.
I read it again.
Neither shall you take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime.
So let's pull this aside and let's look at H6887 to see what the word vex mean. What does the word vex mean? Let's see.
Enemy,
To become an enemy,
distress,
to distress,
bind up,
to bind up.
afflict, an adversary. Basically, it's rivalry.
Okay, so you're seeing right here to show hostility towards, to treat with enmity, harass, and so forth. So we have the context and understanding of what the word vex is talking about.
And you know, you never hear of fighting between Bilhah and the other one.
We're gonna cover that too.
We never heard of Leah fighting with Rachel's maid
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Nope. All right, what happened that this became a law? Why was this written in Leviticus 18:18? Let's see why it was written. Let's read Genesis 30 and verse 1.
And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, when Rachel saw that Rachel bare Jacob no children, I guess before that everything was cool.
Everything was good. And when the children came, we're gonna visit that to see what the rivalry was about, Mishpachah. Go ahead.
Rachel envied her sister.
So Rachel got upset that her sister, her twin sister, got babies first.
It was a twin sister.
Twin sister. Twins marrying twins. Yes, when we read in the book of Joshua, see right there? It's right here, Joshua 28:28. Go ahead and read that for me.
And Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
That was what made a woman feel like a woman, to have children. All right, Joshua 20 and 28.
And Yuah afterward remembered Adinah, the wife of Laban, and she conceived and bare twin daughters.
Twin daughters.
And Laban called the names of his daughters, the name of the elder Leah, and the name of the younger Rachel.
So twins marrying a twin. Jacob was a twin. He married his twin cousins. This is exactly what happened. Okay? Now, let's go on to the next slide so we can get more information on it now. In context, Mishpachah, neither shall you take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime. Let's look at the other translations to see what it was saying. Does this verse say anything about having multiple wives as being a sin? Before we move on, in the chat, put a 1 if this verse says anything about having multiple wives being a sin. Put a 1 if this verse says anything about having multiple wives as being a sin. No ones. Okay. Let's read the different translations. This is the OJB.
Neither shall you take your wife's occult sister to be a rival wife.
To be a rival wife.
To uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime.
Let's see some more. NIV.
Do not take your sister's wife,
your wife's
sister as a rival wife, and have sexual relations with her while your wife is living.
Okay, it didn't say anything about having another woman. It's saying your sister's wife as a what? Rival.
Rival wife. NCV version says, while your wife is still living, you must not take her sister as another wife. Do not have sexual relations with her.
Okay.
The ERV. While your wife is still living, you must not take her sister as another wife. This will make the sisters become enemies. Okay. You must not have sexual relations with your wife's sister.
Okay.
The TLB. You shall not marry two sisters, for they will be rivals. However, if your wife dies, then it is all right to marry her sister.
So this doesn't tell me anything about having more than one wife. It's talking about sister, bloodline sisters, siblings. Don't marry two siblings of the same, because it will become a rivalry. Why? Because of children. Let's look at it some more. What was the main issue concerning the sisters being vexed, the rivals at each other? We just answered it. What was the main issue, Mishpachah? It was children. Being able to bring forth children. Let's look at some examples. This is why Sarah got mad at Hagar. This is the only reason why Sarah got mad at Hagar. Genesis 21 and 9.
And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking.
See the word mocking? That's the same thing as vexing. So there was a exchange of feelings going on there.
So
ha ha ha.
Ishmael was mocking.
Right. And the mama was supporting him. Okay. Let's see about Samuel. This was Hannah's problem. 1 Samuel 1 and 6.
And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because Yahweh had shut up her womb. Because Yahweh had shut up her womb.
Mishpachah, the problem that we're having here is not more than one wife. It is because with a woman, and you sisters in the chat can tell me if I'm right or wrong. If that ability is taken away from you, how would you feel?
Can you pull up Sirach 37 and verses 11 to tie into this rivalry?
How would you sisters feel, Sirach 37?
Yes, Sirach 37 and verses 11. Because what this text display is the spirit of contention, and that happens, right, within a household. Sometimes you may have a newborn that is born, right? You have a child, firstborn, and then a baby's born, and all of a sudden mama and daddy spending all this time with this newborn, and the older one is like, you don't love me no more. And then when the baby's sleeping, The other one is like the good son. You ever seen that movie, The Good Son?
You're planning to take out the
The good son was a little wicked imp of a son who was trying to kill the sibling. And that happens. So what are you supposed to do in that sense, right? All right, so let's look. Sirach 37. This is not Sirach.
This is not Sirach.
Is that Sirach?
Yeah.
Okay.
37, 11.
37 and 11. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Sirach 37:11 says, neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous.
Y'all see that? That's it.
That's all I need. Okay.
Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous. So don't discuss, neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she. You talk to this woman, she's what? This woman has a problem with another woman. She's jealous of another woman. Jealous of what? Oh, how about children? How about children?
And for the brothers, to put it in perspective, brothers, because the sisters would feel very bad. They will feel a very certain way if they can't bring forth children. That's the gift that the Most High has given them.
That's why Jacob had a separate tent.
Yes.
So he can just go somewhere and lock the doors and get a peaceful night's sleep.
That's how all of the patriarch had it.
Yeah, you know that
if you brothers can't get it
policy,
up, how would you feel?
You don't need a big tent. It's just enough with a little fridge,
A little 6
a
by
little
6?
fridge, a little kitchenette, and a little shower. Just simple, just very simple.
And like
Little storage.
somebody might have something like that.
You know what I mean? Something simple. That you can have a little running water, have a little AC to keep you cool. Got your little stuff set up in there. Yeah, so you can have that. You can study with peace of mind. You know what I mean? Anybody, open up. Lock.
Mishpachah, we have been westernized to follow the way how the heathens have been doing their cultures, customs, constructions, all of it.
Man, you got Bill at the front door and not Bill. You got Rachel at the front door and Leah at the back.
I know you in there, Leah. I know you in there with him, Leah. You better stop, Leah. Oh my God, Leah. All right, let's move on. This verse does not say a man cannot have more than one wife. Again, in context, the verse points to having blooded sisters, Mishpachah, that rival each other in having children for their husband. That's the whole point. Bringing forth, because children are a heritage to the Most High. And for you to be blessed with a womb to bring forth children, that's a beautiful thing. No man can have a child. That's why the woman was blessed with that, to bring forth as the womb, the garden. Okay? Let's move forward. Can we find any record, this is what you was talking about, Leah was ever vexed with Zilpah, or Rachel being vexed with Bilhah? Mishpachah, put in the chat. Can anybody show me that the concubines or the handmaids or the maidservants was upset with the first or the second wife?
Wasn't Leah commended by Yahuwah because she took her maid and gave it to Jacob? She wasn't selfish. She like, hey, you know, you can have. She was already given children.
She had children.
And she could have stopped right there.
She says, "Bring forth more for me. Come on, I want some more."
But she, I think the most. I gotta look for the verse, but she got a little extra blessing in the cup for allowing Jacob to have the.
They gladly give their husband their maid to bring forth children.
Because I can't have none, my maid will have.
And not only because they can't have, because Leah had a whole lot, but Leah says, I want more. This is for my husband. Because Zilpah belongs to Leah. Okay? That is Leah's property. So she has to obey and listen to what Leah says. In today's world, it's not, They're going to make this say with a chewing on.
I'll go pull up Genesis 30 and 18.
Genesis 30 and 18. Let's see. Genesis 30 and 18.
And start at 17. We'll read 17 and 18. Show you how they operated, man.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 17 downwards. And Elohim hearkened unto Leah. He did what?
Listened.
Elohim listening to the woman? The Creator? Wait a minute. And Elohim hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the 5th son.
Now this is the part that I mentioned.
And Leah said, Elohim have given me my hire. My hire. Because I have given my maiden to my husband.
Y'all see that? So the Most High gave her extra blessing because she was not selfish. There was not a bunch of fish in the self.
You can continue reading all down. She keeps giving, keeps going all the way down.
See verses 20 right here. Leah says, Elohim have endowed me with a good dowry. Y'all see that?
Wealth, blessings.
You see that? So she has always thanked the Most High, and the Most High heard her.
Yes, and the Most High continue to
But
bless
in
her.
today's world, she will be considered a wicked woman.
A sinner.
Christ came and done away with all of that stuff. Yeah, the same Christ that was there that met with Abraham and says, "Hey, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to Sodom and Gomorrah." Wasn't that Christ?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Christ?
As long as I read it, yeah. Remember, Mishpachah, Jacob did not plan for this to happen, yet the Most High blessed him. Didn't the Most High bless Jacob? Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, most women today would not. They'll be sad, depressed.
Now let's look at the laws now, because remember, this class is about breaking a law, right?
Law.
Let's show a law pertaining to the issues of having children involving multiple wives. Let's look at it. Deuteronomy 21, verse 15, 16, and 17.
If a man have 2 wives.
Stop right there. So this tells me that a man can have 2 wives. Because if you have 2 wives,
one beloved
and
and the other hated.
we're going to break that down some more in the next slide. Go ahead.
And they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated,
If you don't like him.
then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit,
That means, come here, my boys. Let me give you the blessing before I die. You are my oldest from this wife, and you're the oldest from this wife, but you're the first one. And then there's a battle going on. Oh, no, I'm the favorite. No, yeah, I'm the favorite. He says, hold on there. Go ahead, read.
that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
He has to go according to protocol. He can't just do it just because. Just like we see with Laban saying, you have to take Leah first because the custom is always take the firstborn. The oldest has to go first. You can't just jump to the youngest. Take the oldest first, and then I'll give you the youngest. You see how the protocol is, Mishpachah?
Yep.
Verse 17.
That's why they put the stale milk in the front.
They were twins, so it wasn't.
2 boxes of milk, you look there, you check the dates, you see, this one says July 17th, the other one says July 18th. And you grab, or if it's the same date, you look to see when it's time stamped or something, you know what I mean? Anyway,
It's just that he favored one more than the other. Okay? All right, go ahead. Verse 17.
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his.
Brother Johan, I have a question.
What if the oldest is retarded? Well, that's between the Most High and the man. If he's retarded, you still got to give the blessing. Okay? I'm sure if we really sit down long enough, we can find a lot of what ifs. Okay?
All right, let's
A lot of what ifs.
let's break down what this is saying so we can understand the hate and the love and how the heritage is passed on through the seed. So this is a CEV.
The C version says, suppose a man has 2 wives. Suppose a man has 2 wives and loves one more than the other. See the way it's worded?
Yeah.
Loves one more than the other. The first son is either wife is the man's firstborn son. Even if the boy's mother is the wife the man doesn't love, later when the man is near death and is dividing up his property, he must give a double share to his firstborn son simply because he was the first to be born.
That's the protocol. It ain't had nothing to do with feelings. Even though this is his favorite son, rightfully he have to give it to the firstborn. That's all it's saying. And we see the problem with the rivalries that happened between Rachel and Leah, and how the blessings was divvy up. Reuben getting pissed off and going into Bilhah, and how he lose out on his firstborn blessing. All of these things play a factor into these laws, Mishpachah. Go ahead, verse 15. The GNT.
The GNT says, suppose a man has two wives, and they both bear him sons, but the first son is not the child of his favorite wife. So what we're looking at is the definition of the word hate. It's dealing with favoritism, right? Or one that you prefer over the other one.
Again, where is the sin?
It don't mean, because who's going to go out and say, I'm going to go marry a woman and I hate her?
or I'm not going to love her no more.
That doesn't make any sense, family.
Every love, let me say this clear. Every love is always going to be different. Again, it is equity, not equality. Everyone, to all the sisters out there, and you have children, you do not love all your children the same.
Well, I'd like to know which sister, put it in the chat.
You like things about each of your children differently.
Have a child that you love the most. And when you say it in front of the others. Tell me, which one do you love the most over the others?
Ima, who you love the most? Pick up the mic, Ima. All right, so again, Mishpachah, this is showing the responsibility of the father.
Well, we got crickets in the room.
To passing on what is rightfully the firstborn's blessing, regardless of how many wives he have. It's all about the children receiving the heritage to pass on what the father needs to pass on to build the nation of Israel.
That's it.
That's it. So Isaac had one wife, which was who? What was Isaac's wife's name? Rebecca. Becky had two sons, Jacob and Esau, and the birthright had big issues with it.
So, yeah, and even in that sense, what are we supposed to do? I mean, they were twins, but one was loved of the Most High, and one was not
hated by the Most High.
Was not favored by the Most High, right? And the Most High took one and built. So I guess at that point in time, when Rebecca was having problems in the womb, like, man, there's a war going on. What's going on here?
Two nations.
She should have just got rid of Esau right at the beginning, because remember,
born, just pitch him aside.
Because remember, you're not supposed to show favoritism, right? According to what they're saying. Oh, no, they're not gonna like each other. Not gonna. Well, as a woman and you have children, you have to decide which one you're gonna keep and which one you're gonna dispose of, right?
That's right.
See, that type of mindset don't make any sense. You know I'm being sarcastic, right? Israelites, you know I'm being sarcastic. Because I'm trying to flush out the stupidity that a lot of us have. Not ignorance. Because you know the truth, because we can use the same template and apply to different scenarios, and you will agree with all of those, but when it comes to marriage, the brakes, you put on these big 18-wheeler brakes, air brakes.
Now, again, Mishpachah, I am not trying to convince or force anyone about having more than one wife, men or sisters, to bring in another sister into your home. I'm just simply telling you there's no laws in the Bible that say it's wrong, and there's no laws that saying I can't do it. So when Christianity brings it up and other people try to force it upon you and says, brother, you're sinning if you have two wives, you can't find it. All I'm showing you is that.
You notice the chat froze, right?
Yeah.
There's no movement in the chat anymore. What's going on, Israel?
Uh-oh. All right, is levirate marriage a sin? Now we're going to look at levirate marriage. The whole point is, what is breaking the law? Are we breaking the laws when we're talking about multiple wives and all those things? Yeah, Ima, we passed the time. We're going to finish this class.
Wait, Ima's flagging you already?
No.
We're going to finish this class today.
We'll finish it.
We got to get it out. So if anybody wants to eat, y'all can break and eat for lunch and all that stuff. We're going to finish the class.
Me and Brother Shay will continue on.
I'm good.
Until the kingdom come.
I'm good.
Okay, if y'all fall off the porch, since y'all are Paul, right, he preached till midnight, people were falling off the deck.
So if y'all want to eat there, go ahead and y'all can break and eat.
Anybody want to go sleep, go sleep.
We're going to continue, and we're going to finish this class.
Yes, sir.
No sleep. Don't
Hey,
say that.
I think Ima raised sons to be warriors for the kingdom, right? Not putting the tail between the legs. I know, Elder. I know.
All right, is levirate marriage a sin? That's the question. If so, if levirate marriage is a sin, why did Yahuwah kill the men for breaking something that shouldn't exist? That's a legitimate question. If he is telling us that it will be considered a sin, right? Why did he kill the men for not for following the laws that he put out there? What if the brothers were already married? That's another question they always ask. Well, what the brothers? We just read Leviticus about that. Okay. Why is the same law practiced in the book of Ruth? So let's get into it and look at it and see. Genesis 38, verse 7 to verse 10. We're going to read down.
And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah slew him.
Okay, pause there a minute. Judah is the best kingdom according to today's Hebrew.
A lot of purple and fringes.
Right?
Always claiming that Judah.
And just remember you mentioned about having children and some of them is going to be wicked.
Yeah.
What do you do then, Mr. What if that was Judah's only son? What would happen there?
Oh, well.
The kingdom is done. There would be no David.
No
there would be no Messiah. Nothing. But we're seeing that he had children. Go ahead. Firstborn was wicked. Verse 8.
And Yahuwah slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto your brother's wife. And marry her, and raise up seed to your brother.
So he was instructed to do what was written or what was practiced in the culture. Because, Mishpachah, not because we don't see it in the book of Genesis, doesn't mean it didn't happen. When you go back to Joshua and Jubilees, we find the missing pieces of how the laws were given, not only orally, but it was practiced amongst the community of Israelites that were before Israel it was practiced. Let's put it that way. Noah taught Shem, and Shem and Noah taught Abraham, and Abraham passed it down to Isaac, and Isaac to Jacob, and now we have Judah and these boys practicing all of that. And later on, we see Moses come along to enforce the same rules that was established from the beginning.
Because we were under captivity. And even in captivity, how did Israel multiply to become a mighty nation while being slaves at the same time? How do you get those numbers? Anyway, go in unto your brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed to your brother.
So the whole thing was about bringing forth seed. It wasn't about recreation, having fun. It didn't say just go on Philly. It says go on Philly, boom, meaning bring forth seed. Go ahead.
And Onan knew that the seed should not be his.
So he was upset, like it was not going to be my seed. So you know what? If I bring forth this, it's going to be on my brother's behalf. So I don't want to do this. I'm selfish. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground.
Today we say pull out. Right? Go ahead.
Lest that he should give seed to his brother.
So he didn't want to bring up seed in his brother's behalf. And what happened, Rebbe? Verse 10.
And the thing which he did displeased Yahuwah.
The Most High was pissed off at him. The Most High got upset with him and did what?
Wherefore he slew him also.
The Most High killed him with a T. He says, you didn't follow what I instructed from the beginning to happen. Therefore, I'm going to kill you. Now, if the Most High wasn't pleased with, if the Most High wasn't okay with this stuff, he won't kill him. He would say, good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Adam and Eve would be proud of you.
What's the reason for killing an innocent man? First of all, I don't want to do this thing. Judah says, you got to do it. He went ahead, okay, daddy. He went ahead and did it. He went in, when he did it, the Most High killed him because he didn't perform his duty. The Most High was trying to enforce, the Most High was enforcing something that knuckleheads today say is done away with. Why would you kill somebody? The Bible says, if there's no law, there's no transgression of the law.
That's the point, Mishpachah. We cannot be judged or punished if there is no law. So, Brother O'Shea and whoever is keeping the law cannot be punished if he's not breaking the law. I don't care if it don't feel good to you or if it don't look good to you. As long as I'm keeping the law, I have done nothing wrong. Or you have not done nothing wrong if you're keeping the law. Right, Ella?
Yeah, so he killed the one that refused. So
Both of them.
So today now, I'm saying that because I believe the same thing the Lord done from the beginning. He can do it right there. Those that reject the teaching have a different mind.
Yes.
That's why it's important in many cases. Yes, finish.
Those that refuse, those that say no, it's wrong, Brother Yana, it's wrong, Brother O'Shea. You're facing death right now.
Brother Barry, you're correct. This also keeps the woman in the same family. That's why when you read about Tamar in particular, she stayed within that same family group. She was, and I'm going to cover that in future, okay? I do have some important documents from ancient times that I will present to the Mishpachah, and you will see it real time, what they said, the laws that existed in the Levant, and how it ties in with the scriptures too. So you
I
will
have
know.
to bring out some of that just now because I'm going to touch on some of that you're going to
Are
bring.
you
that up.
sure?
Yeah.
Because that we can save it for another time.
Okay.
Yeah, we can always come back. Now, this is why, just one quick point. This is why it is very important. You know how sometimes when a brother is going to buy a car, right, he would maybe take his brother with him, and the brother,
Somebody you trust, right?
yeah, to get his opinion. What do you think about this car? Man, I like that car, right? Because the brother's seen himself like taking his brother's car for a ride sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he don't want to get no foolish car.
Yep.
Right? So keep in mind,
Yep, just in case.
if you know that you got to drive that car, if some point in time you got to take that thing, you want to be.
You don't wanna be seen.
You don't want to be seen. You want to make sure that thing is
Yeah.
all right. So
Yep.
you know, the Bible says, "Be your brother's keeper."
That's
like,
right.
bro. Listen, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think that's a good choice.
That nailing.
You see that woman is telling you about where you are every 5 minutes. Where are you? Well, I'm over here. Where are you? I'm over there. I said, no, bro. No.
That's trouble.
Don't do it. Because if I gotta bear your burden, you're sending me to hell, brother.
Mishpachah, verse 7, 8, 9, and 10 is basically saying the firstborn of Judah, which his name was E-R, he erred by not keeping the law, and he was wicked. So the Most High took him out, and then the next brother named Onan was supposed to bring up seed, and he didn't be obedient, and he was taken out.
You know why? You know how Christianity interprets verses 9? They said he was mastering the baton. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's the reason why he got killed. That's not the reason why he got killed.
I don't see that there. All
Crazy.
right. Let us look at the word culture. I brought this out last week. We're going to touch about it, and we're going to move on. What is our culture? I talked about this last week. This is an easy answer. And why is it frowned upon today? Why does the world, the other nations, also called heathens, I didn't name them that. That is what the word says, also known as Gentiles, non-Israelites, why are they always pissed off or frustrated with us and our laws? Why? Because of the Torah. That's correct. Remember earlier in the slides, Mishpachah, the Christian answer was, although allowed in the Old Testament, often for cultural reasons. Remember they said that, right? Let's look at the culture again now. Our culture as Israel is unique. Peculiar people. That's what unique means. The laws that we receive is what mandates and gives us our culture. That's why we wear the beards, the fringes, we dress modest, we cover our heads, we don't eat unclean things, we worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. We keep all the feast days, the Shabbat, right? We're supposed to be our brother's keeper. We're not supposed to be gossiping and doing all other things as the heathens do. We have a different hygiene system. We take showers and scrub our skins. They don't. There's a whole long list of what the heathens do that we don't do, Mishpachah. We have a very specific and special culture apart from all other nations. In other words, the laws that were given from Mount Sinai The statutes that Moses came down the mountain with, the commandments that he told the people, like Elder mentioned earlier, who is on Yahuwah's side, let him come forth.
So we can't be a Hebrew American or Israel American, like an Afro American.
I don't know what that is.
It's a hybrid.
I don't know what that is. You either or you or. And judgments is our culture, okay? We talked about this. I'm not going to go into it again. But Israel became or becomes the only nation that was elected, selected, called, and given the law, statutes, and commandments. No other nation, Mishpachah. We were placed above all nations that are on the face of this earth. And we were the only nation that was instructed to wear fringes. We don't see that in the garden, right?
No.
But yet people want to go back to the Garden of Eden.
Yep.
This is our culture, Mishpachah.
I don't even see the Garden of Eden being established in the kingdom.
We don't see that.
Believe in me, there's so much stuff I want to say, but I'll just leave it alone. I'll just leave it alone.
The law, statutes, and commandments and judgments is our culture. That is a fact. I can't change it. You can't change it. Now, you can think in your mind, like the meme says, how much money can I have in my bank account? The guy is thinking
mind.
he has $1 billion in his mind. He want to put that $1 billion in his bank account.
Yeah. The mind, transfer the mind, the money of the brain to the account.
You could try to get away from the laws and commandments, but we see what Ecclesiastes 12 says. Here's the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim, keep his commandments. That is your duty as an Israelite. Every single thing you and I did, whether in the secret or in the dark or in the light, good or bad, will come out to light. Mm-hmm. That is a fact, okay?
What if you have somebody threatening you, Brother Shay? Threatening you about, well, if you decide that you're going to do this, this is what's going to happen.
Let it be. See, you have to have a certain mind to have that understanding and to live that life. This is not an easy walk. See, a lot of people want the easy walk. They don't want to get the contention. I know personally people in my life, family members, that they are afraid to wear fringes and wear a beard, and they're afraid to keep the Shabbat day because they feel offended from other family members, friends, and so forth. They want to look and be jolly with everyone.
Smooth face.
Feel good.
Yeah, smooth face.
But
No
remember
fringes.
the Hebrew boys. Remember Daniel. Remember all of our patriarchs before us, all our ancestors before us. The mother that had the 7 sons. We're not eating no swine's flesh. I don't care how many times you kill, pull tooth, whatever you do. I am keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Anything besides that, Mishpachah, is what I call an excuse. Yeah.
Well,
all right, Mishpachah, here is the reason why. So this is the part of the class where we see why monogamy is pushed so much in today's society and why it is frowned upon. We're going to get the answer now. Greek, Roman mindset, European understanding, Americanized, which is chained to the brain, way of thinking. All of this equals coexist. The John 3:16 theory. Mm-hmm. Now let me pull this aside a minute because I made a little chart that I want to highlight here for us to see.
that's like your seasonings.
Yes.
You got all flavors. You got a little paprika.
I'll make this big here. Look at this.
Salt and pepper.
Let's study this for a minute.
Mixture.
On the right here, we are the nation of Israel. For every captivity that we have been in as a nation, let's start. We went into Egypt freely, and we came out as bondmen and bondwomen, and Moses had to bring us out and reinstitute the law, statutes, and commandments. We refused. We started to rebel. We went in with the Assyrian. Then
we actually had
the Babylonian.
We had some captivities before that too.
I'm talking about major.
The major ones, okay.
The major one.
Assyrians, correct.
Assyrians. Then the Babylonians. Then we had the Persian and the Grecians. Then we had the Persian and Medes and Persians. Then we had the Grecians. Mm-hmm. Then we had Rome, and now we are in the last toes of Rome, which is Americanized westernized culture. Okay? So we have been assimilated. We have assimilated ourselves into these religious pagan cultures, refusing to keep Torah. Look at it over here. The list is longer than this. This is Christianity at its least right here. This is Orthodox, Baptist, Methodist, Adventist, Pentecostal, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witness, Scientology, Lutheran, Anglican, and the list is long.
No salt. Salt is Israel. Catholic is what is it? Pepper or something. Orthodox, paprika. Baptist, cumin.
All the sneezings. Look at all the other stuff. All of this right here is what we today are gladly accepting.
No
I
problem.
don't want to keep Torah. I want to be westernized so bad. I enjoy what the nations has fed me. The pig ears and the chicken lips.
Chicken lips, pigtails, ham hocks, chitlins. Right. All we did different is just add a little greens to it. That's it.
Mishpachah, we have been colonized mentally, physically, spiritually,
Ogmaz.
all of it. And we are refusing to be obedient. How it all started.
First Maccabees 1:11. In those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow."
So we're going to join in league with the other nations and do exactly what they do. We're going to keep the Christmases and the Thanksgivings and the Easters and the Halloween. We're going to have the pork and the 4th of Julys. We're going to wear the clothes they wear. We're going to have all the relationships they have. We're going to cheat and steal and rob and murder and all that stuff.
Can I ask a question? This is a honest question, straightforward. Should we stop talking about this stuff, teaching about this stuff, family? Who would like us to stop teaching on this subject? Just never talk about this anymore.
Well, I know once I finish teach this one today, anybody ask me about it, I'm just going to give them the class. It's there.
I mean, let's be sincere. Let's be honest, right? If this is offending people, if this is something that you believe that God said and he intended it to be and so forth and all that stuff, then I don't want to be, imagine you're cooking food and nobody
Wants to eat.
don't even want to show up. It's like, we don't eat that stuff. We eat
Burgers and fries.
burgers and fries
Fast
and,
food.
and
You don't want
nuggets
a
and
farm to
stuff.
table, well home cooked meal.
yeah.
You rather go to McDonald's and Subway and have the fake tuna fish.
I mean, those of you who want us to continue, you don't have to say anything. It's just those who don't want us to continue on this. Just say it. That's all. Just be bold, be brave, and say it. You know? At least get 3 witnesses and we can stop.
Verse 41.
41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
One people. Akkad. It's the same language here. Let's all unite. Isn't that what they say in America?
Yeah.
Okay. Verse 42.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
We must leave our Torah behind, which is our culture, and follow and become Grecians, become Hellenized. That's basically what is saying here. We talked about this in many classes, right? All right, let's see what the AI says.
Yes, ancient Greeks practiced monogamy, legally restricting men to have to one wife at a time.
So stop there a minute. If we are in captivity by this nation, aren't we forced to follow what they teach and preach? And eventually the generations after that will maintain that? Think about it, Mishpachah. We were under these brute forces of the Grecians at one time. And they forced upon us their legislations and their ways of doing things. Continue, this form.
This form of marriage was central to Greek society.
Central meaning the main focus. Go ahead.
And in Athenian democracy,
That's what America have today, democracy.
it was designed to ensure legitimate heirs.
They design it that way for their system. We have a system already. and we were in captivity, and they told us right in verse 42, and everyone should leave his laws and join the Greeks and become Grecians. This is where Hellenization happens. Continue.
While elite men often had concubines or relationships outside marriage.
That's the men in power. They're telling you one thing but doing another thing.
That's what Christianity teaches.
Exactly, Elder. Legal polygamy was viewed as a barbarian practice, not a Greek one.
So when you keep your laws, statutes, and commandments, you are barbarian. This is why these nations over here that we are under right now, they call the other countries third world countries. They say we were savages. They say that we were not keeping living a life of normalcy. That's what they say. When they were the ones that weren't showering, when they were the ones that were drinking blood and all kinds of nasty things and had all kind of infectious diseases, we were the ones that had order because we kept the law, statutes, and commandments.
It is so interesting how hypocritical this is, where the elite is the ones who formed the Greek society and formed democracy and so forth, the elite, like we see today. But they at the same time were having concubines and relationships outside of marriage. So this is the same spirit that you find in Christian church. Same spirit. When the Most High regulated how things supposed to be done, how families are to be formed. If a man should have another wife, that means that it's up to you based on your needs. I remember there was a sister who had some girls, and in her mind, she don't want to have any more children because she had a hard pregnancy, right? And therefore, because of what she desired, the husband is not going to have any heirs to his line. The husband is not going to have any boys because I feel a certain type of way. It was a horrible experience. I don't want to have any more children. So what is a man supposed to do? Explain that.
He's done. He's done. His line is over. Let's look at the double standards like you were just mentioning. The elite exceptions.
While generally unheard of in mainland city-states, some peripheral Greek kingdoms like Macedonia and Epirus allowed for or saw polygamous practices, particularly among rulers.
So if you were in power, you could do it, but if you lower down, we don't want you to do it. Exceptions. Look at the exceptions here.
In most cases, while only one wife was legal
in Greek society,
sexual relationships with slaves or concubines was common for men.
Now, isn't that the same thing I showed in the beginning about the baby mama drama? You have the line of having it done legally versus you have the other line of all the adultery that's happening. Isn't this confusion? That they're telling you don't do it the right way according to the Most High. If you're going to have another wife, make sure it's legal. Make sure that you are taking care, because the law states if you're going to have another wife, you do what? You make sure that she's fed, she's clothed, she's taken care of just as the same wife, the first one. The same way you have the first one, you have to do the second one, and so forth. This is different right here. This is saying while one wife was legal, behind closed doors, they were having all types of relationships. And it wasn't only women, it was with men too. We're going to see that. All right, Greece had a culture of monogamy which was adopted by Rome. Rome continued with Greece practiced, which was passed on to what?
Christianity.
Christianity is what Rome is what birthed Christianity.
That's right.
Christianity was born out from Rome.
It's part of the Roman Empire.
We're going to read it right here. Go ahead.
Yes, ancient Rome practiced strict legal monogamy where a Roman citizen could have only one legitimate spouse at a time.
We are still under the Roman system because we have a Senate. We have a government that's known as a what?
Greco-American. Greco-Roman.
We have a republic and a Democrat. Okay? Still Roman system. Go ahead. This set them apart from many surrounding cultures. So the surrounding cultures were Middle Eastern cultures that we saw earlier when it came to understanding how they did things. This is why Abraham says, do not go to the other nations because they don't understand our culture. They won't keep the Torah. While
elite men often had sexual access to slaves or concubines.
same thing Greece did, Rome is doing.
Formal marriage was restricted to one person.
Formal marriage. So
State marriage.
that's what they put in their system. Go ahead.
Making it a foundation of Western marital traditions.
There it is, Mishpachah. This became a foundation. This is why today in America's laws, it tells you it's illegal to marry another woman when you have a wife already.
So
because they're practicing Roman practice, which is Grecian practice.
So when they establish fake meat and make that the foundation, I guess Israelites is going to go with that too.
The generations that are born now, when they grow up and they reach in their teens and 20s, they can think that the cultured meat is normal. This is what we're talking about, Mishpachah. Hellenization at its greatest.
Yep.
Yeah, let's move on.
It's okay. It's not a problem, right?
Why our culture is frowned upon and forced. We are forced to adopt heathen practices.
Constantine Creed says, I renounce all customs, rites, legalisms, unleavened bread, sacrifices of lambs of the Hebrews, and all other feasts of the Hebrews, sacrifices, prayers, aspirations.
You can jump down here.
Okay. Absolutely everything Hebrew, every law, rite, and custom.
That's all we need. Y'all could read this for yourself. Go online, you could download it. I've shown this many times. But this is where Christianity was birthed out of. Change the laws and let's bring a happy, all together, John 3:16 potluck of pagan practices together. With the centerpiece of a pig with an apple in its mouth. This is what Christianity is and all the other world religions. This is where monogamy was birthed out of, okay? Let's continue. Legal restrictions, read that.
Roman law prohibited having multiple wives, polygyny, simultaneously. However, the divorce and remarriage were common and allowed.
So where do you think Christianity gets this from?
Rome.
Definition of marriage.
Concubinum, which is legal marriage, was strictly one-on-one. While men could have sexual relations outside this, legal polygamy was not permitted.
Mishpachah, we read in it for this. If you don't believe me, go look it up yourself. Doesn't this promote adultery? What we just read here, having one wife and then going outside and having relationships, doesn't this promote adultery and fornication and all types of lewdness?
Outside.
Yes. And then you will have issues when it's time to pass on the heritage.
Yeah.
You don't know who's who. And all types of spirits and nastiness happening.
You know,
diseases.
It's like the tax law. The elite create the tax law and then they operate in loopholes. They put their money overseas. They find every other place to put their money in. While we are stuck in their craziness of keeping the tax law, they have loopholes.
And now, Mishpachah, we're going to see what Paul was talking about. When we're reading the New Testament, Paul wrote about this in the New Testament about blameless, being blameless, one wife, etc. Because Israelites was following after the ways of Rome. Let me break it down this way, and we're going to see it. We're going to read this now, but I'm going to clearly say it this way. When we follow after the other nations, we look just like them, and we start acting like them. So in the so-called New Testament, when we're reading the letters of Shaul when he's going to Corinth and Thessalonica and Colossae and Rome and these different places, and he's seeing that the Israelites being Hellenized, practicing being married to one person, but then having outside relationships. He's saying, you want to call yourself a bishop, but you're doing all these little nasty things. We're going to see that. Go ahead and read distinction.
Distinction from neighbors. Roman monogamy was a cultural identifier.
So being Romanized made you the highest standard. That's why it says America the Great. To be American right now is a great thing because you're the standard of the world. Everybody wants to be like you. I don't want to be like that. I want to follow the Torah. Go ahead.
that set them apart from the polygamous practices common in the Eastern Mediterranean and other regions, which they often considered barbarian.
So they looked at us, everything we do, as barbarian. The women cover themselves up. Oh, the women don't have no freedom.
So why don't they just stay away from these places? Why are they always sticking their dirty noses in other people's business?
Rebbe,
If you're first world, stay in your first world areas and do your stuff over there. But stop trying to impose your mindset and belief on other nations. It's crazy.
Western governance shape institutional Christianity. Now let's see now.
As the religion spread through Europe,
So the religion of Rome is spread all throughout Europe because Rome occupied all of Europe, right? Okay, go ahead.
the church began to adopt the structures of the government it existed within.
This is where Christianity came from. Go ahead.
Roman influence. The early church adopted the administrative structures of the Roman Empire. And following the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the church stepped in as a unifying governing force.
That's why today you see El Papa, he don't have the physical power like he has the soft power. But the time that he had the physical hard power, they was ruling with the iron fists. Do it or else. Convert or else. And they said, you know what, let's all bring in the harmonizing. Let's take some from here and here and here and make up this religion. And now we have what we have today called Christianity. And you see, now, question, Mishpachah, does Islam practice polygyny?
Everybody knows the answer to that one. That's Ishmael people.
Ishmael is a Near Eastern culture, the son of Ishmael, the son of Isaac.
And the other wives of Abraham.
This is why the westernized culture is having the conflict with them, because they don't want to convert over to become one, to have the one world government. Go ahead and read medieval structure.
Medieval structure. The church structure during the Middle Ages resembled feudal systems,
Feudal systems.
where bishops and abbots often function like secular lords.
Mishpachah, what does secular lords mean? Let me go back a minute here.
The world.
And let's see what it says right here. Read that part right here. Or so.
Polygamous practices, particularly among rulers.
Rulers. So the ones that were in power were having side pieces, boys and girls, right? Having sexual relationships because you had the power. So no difference to the bishops and abbots who function as secular leaders. They did the same thing. This is why Paul came. What did Paul say in 1 Timothy 3:2?
A bishop then must be blameless.
Because these bishops were acting just like these nasty heathens. Continue.
The husband of one wife.
Because they were having relationships outside of having a contract. They didn't want to have a contract.
And even that word one is dealing with a different breakdown. Are you going to cover that too, or we're going to do it another time?
We'll do another
I
time.
covered it anyway.
Yeah.
I covered that in the class, Bishop, where the one is dealing with, there's a word Mia, M-I-A, whatever, Mia, versus another word, right? So as you go into that, you will see the definition of that word. So you're taking Greek words or a translation into Greek, and when it's translated from the Greek to the English, they specifically put it in such a way that when you read it, in your mind, you're thinking it means singular. It's not singular. It means that if you're going to lead, you must be married, because how are you going to be an example? And the question is, well, was Paul married? Was he married? How can you tell a man about being a bishop when you don't even have anything to show for it, right?
You gotta walk. You gotta, while you're walking it or talking, you have to walk it. The husband of one wife.
Vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, opt to teach. Not given to wine, no striker, not greedy with filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, no covetous.
All of this, Mishpachah, falls under secular lords. Function like secular lords. They refuse to keep the Torah They was acting just like the regular heathens that they followed suit after.
And this particular writing of Shaul is actually an offshoot of what we read about the kings not multiplying
Yes.
certain things because they are to remain focused on serving Israel, serving the Most High by serving Israel. And these men also had the same responsibility.
All right, Rome in America. You want to say something, Ima?
To get rid of the women that they had before? Right, right. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and read that for me.
While Christianity originated in the Middle East, its historical development and cultural expression have been profoundly intertwined with Western civilization and its governance structures for over 1,500 years. Many historians and theologians describe this relationship as bidirectional.
Going both ways.
Christian principles shape Western law and political thought.
So pause a minute. So they're borrowing from the heathen and the heathen is borrowing from them. Do you see anywhere in the Torah, he says, Moses, when you go to Egypt, take some of Pharaoh's laws and apply it to our laws and let's marry and become one. When you go to the land of Canaan, whatever they practice, take their laws. Do we see that? Okay. Continue. While Western
institutional structures such as Roman organization and medieval feudalism influenced the development of the church.
So the church, Mishpachah, was influenced and developed by the Institute of Rome and their practices.
The world. Yeah, the world.
So when people tell you we shouldn't be doing something because the church says so, forget the church. Does the Torah teach that? That's the question. If the Torah is not against it or is for it, if the law is not being broken, you have nothing to worry about. Stop trying to please the other nations and other people. That's what this class is about.
Yep.
Keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So having that, you are not breaking no laws because there's no law that say you cannot do it or no law that say you should do it. I'm just trying to show you we got to take off these Gentiles' lenses. Read that one. Christian
influence. As Christianity grew in the later Roman Empire, it reinforced these rules.
It did what?
Reinforced these rules.
The monogamy rules was enforced.
Turning them from a social/legal requirement into a moral one.
So there you have it, Mishpachah. Now they're going to make it a law saying, oh, well, Jesus affirmed it.
To make you feel bad.
Yeah. You're doing wrong, Brother O'Shea, because Adam and Eve, let me, come here. You want to talk about, let me slap you with Adam and Eve. This is Adam and this is Eve. Universalism.
Universalism versus Westernism. While much of modern Christianity has a, quote, European flavor, unquote, the faith is also historically rooted in Africa and Asia, and it continues to grow in non-Western areas.
So what they did was they filter everything through the lenses of the Gentiles. That's why I tell you, wheat bread versus white bread. When something is European flavored, it has no flavor. There's no salt. There's no pepper. There's no cumin. Give me some more. There's no paprika, no onion powder.
Bland.
It is tasteless and flavorless.
Yep.
Which equals to wickedness. All right, let's move on. This is how it went, Mishpachah. So I'm going to go from the beginning and go down now. So let's start right here. AI overview.
Biblical characters are often portrayed as white, primarily due to European artistic traditions, colonial expansions, and the tendencies of cultures to depict holy figures in their own likeness.
So everything was whitewashed. Go ahead,
While the figures were Middle Eastern, centuries of Eurocentric art and marketing, such as Warner Salzman 1940's Head of Christ, established a dominant white image.
Now, brother, it's just not going to the white versus the black. I'm just showing you how European minds think, how they colonized everything and changed our Hebrew culture, Torah, to a westernized culture, Roman Greco-feminist movement that has nothing to do with Torah. Slave Bible.
Slave Bible from the 1800s omitted key passages that could incite rebellion.
They changed the word to promote their agenda. Let's look down here. A colonized mind.
Christian slaveholders in the Americas extensively used biblical interpretations to justify, enforce, and moralize the enslavement of black people.
So they were weaponizing the Bible against you, taking your historical books, telling you you can't read it, but we're going to read it to you the way we want to read it to you. Go ahead.
Through pro-slavery theology, selective scripture,
like
they have today,
John 3:16,
and the curse of Ham narrative
that you're black, everybody's black, everybody is black is Ham.
is wicked. White Christians argued that slavery was divinely sanctioned. As discussed in this Reddit Ask Historians post, religious justification was a primary tool used to enforce obedience and control, often framing the institution as beneficial to the enslaved.
So they'll tell you it's good for you. Eat this poison, it's good for you. Not knowing that they're lying in their pockets and they're killing the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, let's look at this picture. Y'all remember this picture over here?
Yeah.
Can y'all see them? Let me make it bigger so you can see.
Jelly Donut Jakes.
Let's look at this picture here.
Jelly Donut Jakes.
One happily family.
He got the collar on his neck.
You have all types of different flavors that has blended together, and now they have given you that, and now they have given you a flavor of something. With the rise of Christianity, the family structure, the order, and the community all has taken a moral decline. Look over here, you see Hebrew culture with the commandments? That's X'd out. We don't want to do commandments. The Big Ten is done away with. Jesus has nailed it to the cross. Hallelujah. And it's done. That's what they teach you.
One point I want to make is something that you had in the previous slide where they showed you it moved from legal to now becoming a moral one. From legal requirement, like the Most High said this has to be done for your society. Now they make it into a moral one, reducing polygyny, take that out the way, make you feel a certain type of way, and now it's morally right for you to have just one woman and that's it. And now, move forward, you can see that when they started doing all these changes, morality has declined because even when they instituted this thing in church, look what's happening to society. There's more slackness going on. You know, a lot of people are sleeping around with this, that, and the other, and saying, well, I don't want to get married. And then later on, when they're old and dry and hard and everything is dried up, now they want to get married. They got nothing to offer. The families are more broken. So show me how this Western society is doing anything good for civilization on a whole. Now they want to go, and you know what? I saw a report where they said, and this is like a few days ago, that Africa is going to have the highest rate of young people ever in comparison to the other nations. By whatever year it is, the Africans is going to have a high number of youth. Why is that? How are they able to produce a lot of young children? How?
Well, they don't want to listen. All right, so has taken a moral decline due to the removal of laws. So they removed the Torah, and now the morality has declined, and practice of what's written. So whatever was practiced, what that was written in history, we don't do it no more. That's old stuff.
Yeah.
Abraham stuff is old stuff. Whatever Jacob and Isaac did, that's old stuff. Over the many changes we find today, everything has been chemically and spiritually altered.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is if you want a son, an inheritance, you have to adopt. Well, baby, we can adopt. We can go through all these hoops and adopt.
Mishpachah, this is how it's going today now. We just saw how it went, where it was, and now how it is going currently today. Over here, you see the SPQR, right? That is the Roman emblem. Over here, you have Eperibus unum. This is the American bird, right? It's the same bird. Look below.
Holding the same bundle of sticks.
What is Trump holding down here?
Same Roman thing.
And what is the podium holding up?
Same dirty bird.
Make Rome great again. Make America great again. He is the Pope. He's the Savior. He's the President. He's all of the above. And I'm not highlighting him. What I'm highlighting is the system.
The system, yeah.
He's just a face.
The figurehead of the
The
system.
system operated by Hashatan. I did the class that we talked about all of the wicked things in the empire, right? From Hashatan all the way down, we see the system.
And this is the same dude that married different women, and he talking about snatching on the underwear of other women. This is the same dude. These are the same people that always look at all those leaders. All of them that talk about this one sister, one wife type of theology. They're all snatching underwear.
Yep, they're all caught up in the Epstein files. Westernized propaganda. Go ahead and read that.
Planned by the Committee of Craftiness, they have plotted to change the cultures and bring in feminism, sodomy practices, and promote lawlessness, calling those who oppose the third world countries.
This is what they call people who oppose their system, that they're third world. So monogamy is pushed by westernized countries who pushes what? Population control as the law. If you notice, for the past 10, 15 years now, they've been pushing this green earth, what's the thing with
policy.
The green earth with
Save the planet. thing.
save the planet, and how the air is being polluted, and what's the term
Population control, where they want to reduce the population because of carbon and all carbon footprint and everything else.
Help me, Ms. Picard, is a term that is used today.
Environmentalism.
No, it falls under that. All right, I'll continue, and somebody could probably bring it up. Recent reports indicate that immigration enforcement, global warming, that's what it is right there. Thank you. Under the guise of global warming, this is what is being pushed. This is the propaganda they push. They fit everything under the rug of global warming. Okay? Recent reports indicate that immigration enforced, particularly under the Trump administration of 25 and 26, has targeted migrant families, including those with what?
Multiple children.
Now, I highlight this because you may say, Brother O'Shea, well, these men and women only have one wife. We don't know. But the idea of having multiple children, there is a catch for that. And I'm going to show you now where that goes. Let's go look at Psalms 127, verse 3 to 5.
Lo, children are an heritage of Yahweh,
So the Most High says children are a heritage.
and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Oh boy. Continue.
As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth.
So you have to be able to pass on your strength, your seed, your heritage. Verse 5.
Depressed is the man. Happy is the man that have his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with their enemies in the gate.
That means, Mishpachah, speaking with the enemies in the gate, meaning you cannot go up against a man that have a force behind him called sons.
That's right.
The government is afraid of when you have sons. They know this, and I'm going to show it to you.
Many sons, yeah.
The government is threatened by men who have large families, especially many sons. The land that is owned will be maintained within the family. Remember when we look at the Eastern culture, that the reason why they married within the family is to keep the wealth and the land and the property and everything within the family, right? Okay. You have one son or one daughter or whatever it is, that goes away. Nobody to pass on or to maintain. Your legacy is gone. The business, the wealth, etc. will be kept within the family, making it harder or impossible for governments to tax or make money. If you don't believe me, go and research that. You will see that when it comes to the tax breaks, this is why the Jubus that are in New York and New Jersey, they have these big families and they get all this money tax breaks because they're cutting the corners that we can't have. Because you're frowned upon for doing. No, Hebrew is like, you can't do that. Be the good Christian.
Because, somebody got to control the candy cane, right? Like, what's this, 50 cent, the magic stick?
The magic stick.
Somebody got to control that.
This is the reason behind the movement of bigamy, Mishpachah. You don't believe me? Let's look at it. Eyes of the Gentiles. Read that for me.
When we practice what the surrounding environment and cultures teach, we become assimilated.
Is that true?
That's correct.
Wait till the cultured meats come out, Mishpachah. Wait till you can't find some beef on the shelf. All you see is cultivated sandwiches. What y'all gonna do?
Passing on those experiences and ideas to our offspring. The offspring now being born later are Hellenized and now see themselves as the natives do.
So now they become Americanized, Canadianized, Europeanized, gentilized,
Gentilized, huh?
Hellenized, Mishpachah. This is what we refer to as eyes of the Gentiles. I mean, you're looking through these glasses and seeing everything as they see. Well, I love now. I don't hate anymore. The Most High says, hate these nations with righteousness. You said, no, I want to love them. The Most High says, stay away from them. You said, no, I want to join them. Does that make any sense? Seeing how they see and practicing what they preach. That's what we want to do. We want to practice what they preach and see what they see. Now it becomes very hard when we try to revert back to our original beliefs, culture, and practices, which have become alienated and discredited by the current system. So now you say, I want to wear my fringes. Oh, why are you wearing fringes? That's, no, we don't, the Bible didn't say that. New Testament stuff. Now you want to say, you know what? I want to have my family extend. I have some land. I want to work this land. I don't have sons. I have a wife here. She's doing the best she can. Let me bring another one in so we can build. No. Christianity says no.
Why is it that people who are Christians are never demonized when they fall short but still trying their best to walk out their Christian values? Nobody says anything negative. The Christian marriages are not looked upon as being negative. It's like, oh, they're trying to work things out. But for some reason, when we talk about biblical, in the sense of polygyny, it's considered to be the worst. Like it says, it has a negative connotation to it. The outcome is always negative. But why is it that when we deal with just one? You see, before you get to the two, you must start with the one. And the one is the de facto, is the foundation, right? To build on. But when you look at the foundation, it has a lot of problems. And nobody makes an issue of it. Nobody makes an issue of it. So if the one is giving you problems, I guess you should abandon the one. Just be celibate, right? That would be the thinking. Because that's what they say about, we need to abandon the other one, the polygyny, because it creates chaos. Then if monogamy creates, because how many women has children from multiple different men?
Answer
Because
that
one
question,
didn't work,
Mishpachah.
they go with another one, it didn't work. This other one didn't work, you got problems over here, but still you want monogamy. Explain that. You should give up at some point. Say, I don't want to deal with this thing because of my past experiences. I give up. You go to church and have a problem. Why do you look for another church? It's still a church. It's still got the same Christian values. You should give up.
Why are you going from job to job? You should just stick with
Stop working.
Yeah.
I had a bad experience at work. Stop going to work.
Doesn't make any sense, Mishpachah. This is why we are having so many issues understanding biblical truths. Because we are using Greek, Roman, European, Americanized philosophies. We have plenty of classes on that, Mishpachah. To understand a Hebrew way of life, which was set apart far from those nations. Deuteronomy 18, verse 9.
When you are coming into the land which Yahweh your Elohim giveth you, you shall not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
Well, Brother O'Shea, we're not in the land. So therefore, Mishpachah, every captivity we have been, if the Most High says we are scattered all over the globe, what does that mean?
Four corners. Exactly.
Okay, continue.
Jeremiah 10 and verses 2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen.
Don't go after the things they do. Don't keep the things they keep. You are special. You are special. Let's move on. Let's look at the hypocrisy of wickedness. So on this side, Greek. Let's see what the Greek says.
Yes, in ancient Greece, same-sex sexual activity was practiced, but it was generally structured within a specific social framework rather than the modern definition of same-sex relationship.
Code words.
It was primarily practiced as pederasty, a relationship between an adult male and adolescent male.
Peddling nasty. This is what they practice. They'll tell you, you know what? We practice that, and it was okay in our society. What did Rome do?
Yes, same-sex activity, sodomy, was practiced and generally accepted in ancient Rome.
But they tell you don't practice having more than one wife because you are a barbarian, but you can have this type of relationship. Continue.
These guys are ball bearings.
Ball bearers.
But it was regulated by strict social norms based on hierarchy rather than gender. A freeborn Roman male could have sex with men, but only as the active dominant partner.
So it's okay for you to be a nasty man, but you have to be the one in charge.
Typically with slaves or prostitutes. Being passive, receiving anal intercourse or performing oral, was considered submissive and unmanly.
So you see, Mishpachah,
Sick
the
puppies.
Greek and Roman, this is what they practice. Now let's fast
puppies.
forward today and see if anything changed. We're going to see. They told you that having more than one wife was seen as barbarian, but they allowed the batty man to be
Sodomite.
accepted, peddling to be normal. That's what they tell you, right? It's normal to be in relationship with all types of boys, but we don't want you to have more than one wife legally. Does this make any sense?
It's crazy.
Read the social and moral control.
Social and moral control. In the United States, the Moral Anti-Bigamy Act of 1862 was designed to prohibit polygamy.
So they designed this specifically because, remember, the slaves were just being freed. Go ahead.
Now, wait a minute. So before 1862, it wasn't prohibited.
No.
After 1862,
Yes.
it was prohibited
Yes.
for polygamy, which was deemed a relic of barbarism by politicians of the time. The goal was to enforce a monogamous marriage structure viewed as standard in Western society.
All they do is copy and paste Greek, Roman, American, Europeanized. Europeanized it right here. Here we go. And that's what we have today, Mishpachah. Everything Greece did and Rome continued it and passed it on to what we practice today.
That's why I don't like Greece.
2026.
Ain't using no Greece. No, no Greece. Forget that nonsense. Everything Greece did, Rome continued it and passed it on to what is practiced today. 2026, sodomy, defined as certain sexual acts between consenting adults, is legally accepted and protected across.
They're protected also. They say it's okay for you to have sausage and ball bearings,
sword fights, wickedness.
but they don't want you to legally bring forth children
Boy,
and take care of the women. They're ready to have baby mamas out there and child support. We're going to see that.
it's okay.
The
yes.
whole system is rigged for this reason.
It's okay to have multiples
Go ahead.
of things. The Supreme Court ruled in 2003, the case was Lawrence versus Texas, that state laws criminalize sodomy are unconstitutional, establishing a nationwide right to privacy for such acts.
Look over here to the right. Some Christians are gay. Get over it. That's what they're telling you. So they're trying to force feed you to now bring back in the pagan practices into the mixture of Christianity, more bigger and bolder. And this and like the devil always does, he takes what the Most High bless and he tries to curse it. So they take the rainbow and they try to force feed it back to you in a negative way. But we all know that the Most High has blessed all those things, and Satan himself cannot corrupt it. This is 2026. Let's see what's happening in Pride Land today. Today is what? June what?
June the 1st.
The 1st. Read that.
Pride Land is a massive 4-day LGBTQ plus festival running from June 1st to June 4th, 2026, located at the Dead Sea. It is billed as the largest festival in the Middle East, LGBT Sodomite festival in the Middle
Mishpachah,
East.
we are witnessing prophecy. We are witnessing the rebuilding that the Most High say, I will throw down, and we are re-witnessing the rebuilding of these wicked nations. It says, as in the days of Noah and Sodom. Pride Land Mishpachah is a massive 4-day thing that they're having. June 1st to June 4th. They're telling you, they're trying to force feed this to you. Look at right down here. Read that for me, Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv events, widely regarded as the LGBTQ plus hub of the Middle East, hosts its own favorite festivities alongside the Pride Land event. Traditional Tel Aviv parades typically assemble in Meir Park, travel along the Burger Volt and Ben Yehuda, and culminate at Charles Clory Park.
So they're telling you all of this stuff, right? Job 41 and verse 34.
He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of
When
pride.
you read the book of Job 41 and you try to see who this is talking about Leviathan. Now, let me pull this aside and let's see who Leviathan is. Leviathan Mishpachah is the same thing as what? What does that say right there, Rebbe?
The dragon.
The dragon. Who is the old serpent? The dragon.
Ha-Satan. And yes, Terrellin, they are having this celebration in the same location as Sodom and Gomorrah.
The dragon Mishpachah is behind the children of pride. He is the king over the children of pride.
They say that this is going to be the largest festival, largest one out. People are booking the tickets to go.
Follow the money. So let's see how this whole thing has to fall into place.
Marriage is frequently described as a legal, financial, and logistical partnership that functions similarly to a business merger, involving joint asset management, shared debts, and long-term planning.
That's all we need. So in the United States,
It's all about the money.
it's all about the money. Trump just signed into the beautiful bill that if you have been together for 5+ years, you are legally married now. Did y'all see that? Let me find that and pull that up. Let me post that in the chat real quick. Go ahead and read that for me.
How the government is making money off of you. Governmental involvement in marriage generates revenue through taxes. Fees, and economic activity, while also offering tax bonuses for some and penalties for others.
Okay, let me pull this aside a minute and play this video real quick just to show you. Fair use. I want y'all to see it for yourselves. I don't want you to think Brother O'Shea is making something up.
And we should be closing up pretty soon, family. So
Yeah.
we're almost done.
Congratulations to everyone who has been in a relationship for 5 years or more and you are not legally married. The bill that Trump just recently passed states that if you have been in a relationship for 5 years or more, as of August the 1st, you are legally married, guys. What is your opinion on this? How do you feel? Put in the chat how you feel about this.
Did you hear what you said? Okay. Go look it up. If you don't believe me, go look it up. So the government is making money because of these businesses called a marriage, the way they're putting it out in the system. Okay. Overview over here for the AI.
Yes, families with children generally pay lower effective federal income tax rates than similar sized households without children, thanks to tax credits and deductions. Larger families can leverage credits like the child tax credit to reduce tax liability.
So when you have bigger families, you get a lot more breaks. But they're going to tell you that's why abortion is so high. Contraceptive is so high. All these monogamous sexual relationships that they call monogamous, but you're having all types of sexual partners out there, and they're pushing all the hims and the hers and the Viagras and the Cialis and you name it, and the commercials out there. and in the clubs and in the music videos. They're pushing all this nastiness, but they're telling you just don't follow the laws. This is why the government is driven by economic pressures, Mishpachah, high childcare costs, and cultural shifts towards smaller families, pushing eugenics through Planned Parenthood. Okay? Remember that. There's more to it, but because of the sake of time, we can't get into all of that. Now, think about this. Men account for approximately 85 to 90%. How much is that of a pie? 85 to 90% of a pie is what?
It's pretty big. It's almost the whole pie.
Of all parents ordered to pay child support in America. That's just in America. It's a system designed, Mishpachah, to keep you enslaved, to reject Torah, and to make money off of you. The rest of that y'all can read. You can go and you can dig and research on child support and see. I did a class on that before.
2 classes.
2 classes on that. Okay? It's designed to break the law, statutes, and commandments. It's designed to keep you in a sinful mode. The United States promotes adultery and fornication. They would rather you be unmarried and have many partnerships out of wedlock. This is why you call it the hookup culture and casual sex. Doesn't this create chaos for the future seed?
It certainly does.
This
Confusion.
takes money away from you and puts it into the system. This creates instability and promotes sickness within all the communities. This is why you have so many young women today, at young ages, man, 9, 10, 11, because of the filth that they see on social media, that they're out there throwing their bodies about, making videos, and having sexual intercourse with all types of partners, and then they call it the body count. Oh, I have more than you have. When we were Hellenized with that mindset, all of us were in the same nonsense. We were all out there doing stupid stuff as young people. But this is where, when we have the understanding, we're trying to teach our people right from wrong and do it according to the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, let's look at this. This is for arguments for and against. This is what they say, the AI. So stop and think.
The pros can improve security for women, allow for greater child support or childcare via co-wives, and strengthen social and economic networks.
So this is the pros of having a sister wife. Okay, when a woman has another woman with her in that relationship, this is the pros. It allows for support. The co-wives strengthen social and economic networks. They know that. Let's look at the cons that they say.
Can lead to jealousy,
Didn't we just read about that?
rivalry,
Okay.
conflict among wives, and potential neglect of children.
Because of passing on heritage. So what they're going to do is push this little thing to stop the bigger thing over here. It's like doing a magic show.
But the cons exist right now with the baby mama dramas, right? You have conflicts. You have the children that are being neglected. A lot of them, you knock on the door, look at the children all nasty, not clean, and stuff like that. And they, with Tyrone, they're with this one, they're with that one, and all kinds of craziness. Yeah.
Brother Barry, they will not get arrested because they are protected under religious rights. See, they have some of the truths, and they will follow some of the things that they pick. Again, they're Christianity, but they pick and choose. Okay? All right, social impact.
Research suggests it can create stronger social support networks, though it may also lead to competition for resources within the family unit.
So they always give you the little doubt. That's how the devil will do. He'll say, yeah, we know it's going to do this, but don't forget about this. I try to give you the little doubt. You shall not surely die.
Yeah.
If we keep there will be no cons as long as the commandments is being followed. Okay?
It's crazy.
Because remember, the rivalry happened because, this is why I showed that, Mishpachah. The rivalry happened because the Most High closed the wombs. It was for him to push when they're going to have children. That's why you had the rivalries. The Most High says, okay, I don't want Rachel to have any children right now. This is when she's going to have, because I want her to bring out these particular boys. when I want them to come out. All right, now do we see why they keep attacking our culture? We're almost done, Mishpachah. Do we see why they keep attacking our culture? You see, this topic of having more than one wife is not about sex. That's the first thing people think of. It's always about sex. It's not about that, Mishpachah. That's part of it. It's about bringing forth a nation and building a nation that has been selected above all other nations. Being obedient. The first commandment is be fruitful and multiply. They remove our culture and said what?
Laws don't exist anymore. Everyone depicted as white. Black is cursed. Israel doesn't exist anymore. Jewish is the new Israel. The Shabbat has changed. Baptism is no longer needed. God loves everyone. Sodomy is accepted. Eat whatever you want. Circumcision is not needed. You can change your gender. You can serve other gods.
This is what Christianity is bringing. This is why we are instructed to teach our customs and culture, which is the laws and statutes, to our children. Because they keep removing everything and telling you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But then when you remove all that, then you have a broken and destroyed nation. Deuteronomy 6, verse 7, 10, and 12.
And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sittest in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Verse 10, and it shall be when Yahweh your Elohim shall brought you into the land which he sware unto your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you great and goodly cities, which you buildest not. Verses 12, then beware lest you forget Yahweh, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
We were to be taught so we won't forget, Mishpachah. We have forgotten. We have taken up the other nations' identities and cultures, and we are being rebellious against our identities and cultures. Other religions historically practiced in various cultures, but largely forbidden in modern Christianity and Judaism. So we have been putting our stuff aside and taking up Christianity and Judaism. So the question, is there a difference in what our forefathers practice? Yes, there's a big difference. Has the word changed to something modern? No, Mr. Akkad, the word has not changed. That is the society and system we live in. Remember, Christianity and Judaism are religions. That has nothing to do with being an Israelite. I want y'all to understand that. Being an Israelite has nothing to do with religion. They have stolen and manipulated the word of Elohim. Malachi 3 and verse 6.
For I am Yahuwah, I change not.
I change not. I am not going to change, which means my word has not changed either.
Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
If the words has changed, we no longer exist. Remember I showed you all that we are tied to the luminaries? They have been given a direct order to remain and do their job. If they stop what they're doing, we as a seed will be vanished. We will be no longer in existence. So why has the westernized nations changed and made it illegal? Why are they changing everything and making everything illegal? Ecclesiasticus 39 and 1.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof.
So whoever give their mind to the Most High and occupies their time in the laws, go ahead,
will seek out the wisdom of the ancient, of all the ancient, and be occupied in the prophecies.
The prophecies, Mishpachah, that we read about, when we look back in that, the wisdom of all the ancients is what the covenant has put there. Proverbs 22 and 28 says,
remove not the ancient landmark which your fathers have set.
So Mishpachah, this is something important for us to keep. We are not supposed to take things away and be like the other nations. Quickly, let's look at H5769 to get a better understanding of that right there, what we see. And that says what? Ever?
Everlasting, old, perpetual, evermore, never, time, ancient.
That's
always,
what the word
always,
ancient
always.
means. The word ancient, when it says
Continuous.
ancient, it means long duration. Forever, ever, everlasting, evermore. So when we read about seek out the wisdom of all the ancient. That goes back to the covenant, Mishpachah, because the covenant has no ending. The covenant is tied to the law, statutes, and commandments. It has no ending. So again, Mishpachah, we can't find that anywhere in the Torah that says it is a sin to have more than one wife. What is the ancient landmark this verse is referring to? Let's look at Deuteronomy 12:32.
What things soever I command you, observe to do it, that you shall not add thereto, nor diminish from it.
This is the law that was given. This is the law. Don't add and don't take away. Let's see what the judgment is. Revelation 22:18.
For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things,
If you add,
Elohim shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
plagues will be added to you. Verse 19.
If any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy,
If you diminish,
Elohim shall take away his part out of the book of life,
your name will be removed.
and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
That's clear, Mishpachah. As long as we're not breaking the Torah, as long as we're not changing the laws, we are good. Make it make sense. Now we're going to look at this real quick here. This is the Jubu people telling you it's okay to have multiple wives, but we changed it regardless. How is it foundational when they are being selective? Please make this make sense. Read that for me. AI overview.
Rabbinical Judaism considered the Talmud the foundational text of Jewish law, halakha, ethics, and traditions, acting as their authoritative interpretation of the Torah.
That's all we need. So the Talmud, Mishpachah, according to them, is the foundational text acting as the authoritative interpretation of Torah. So that's what they say, right? Okay. Let's jump down to the AI overview.
Polygamy is technically permitted under biblical and Talmudic law.
Okay, so they're saying that on the foundations, it's fine to do it.
Allowing men to have multiple wives if they can support them,
If you can support them.
though women have never been permitted more than one husband.
So that's what we were saying. It has nothing to do with two men and one woman. You can't work that way. It's one key that can go into many locks. Okay? Now, continuing, however,
It is effectively banned for Ashkenazi Jews since the 11th century Rabbi Gershom, and generally frowned upon or prohibited for Sephardic Jews, making it virtually extinct in modern Judaism.
so they're saying out of one mouth, in our laws, it's okay to do, but we took it upon ourselves to change it.
To kill it.
Because we don't want you to follow, because we also have been Romanized and Hellenized. Like Christianity, Mishpachah, the laws are seen as nailed to the cross. So the difference between Judaism and Christianity is no difference. They pick and choose what they want, and therefore they're going to try to cram it down your throat. Isaiah 40 and verse 8.
The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of Elohim, our Elohim, shall stand forever.
Shall stand forevermore. The word of Elohim shall stand forevermore. Remember Isaiah 55:11 says, whatever goes out of his mouth does not come back voided. It goes and does exactly what he wanted. If the word has no ending, why are we listening to others who say it hasn't ended?
I don't know.
Riddle me that, Mishpachah.
That's a good question.
If the word has no ending, why are we listening to the other nations that say the word hasn't ended?
If the word ended, Israel is no longer a people. Plain and simple.
Read that for me.
The world system will always try to change what the Most High has established. They will say the laws are not good and change it. They will say the culture is not good and change it. They will find every problem with the word.
That's what they do. They pick and choose, call them cherry pickers.
Yeah.
And they want they have the magic black lighter,
Yeah.
and they mark out everything. By the time you look at it, it looked like it's a confidential
Yeah. Redacted.
redacted Bible.
Redacted.
John 17 and verse 14.
I have given them your word.
So Yeshua says, I came and give them the word.
No, you're giving them Paul's word. I've given them your word, and the world have hated them.
The world hates us, Mishpachah.
Because they are not of the world.
Because we are not supposed to be of the world.
Even as I am not of the
Because
world.
our Mashiach is not of the world. So why do we keep running after the feelings of the world?
Because we love it.
Verse 17.
Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth.
The commandments, statutes is what dictates this, Mishpachah. All right, Mishpachah, lastly, practice in the kingdom. This is a question. Will having more than one wife be practiced in the kingdom? Matthew 6 and verse 10.
Thy kingdom come, your will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
His will, Mishpachah, that happens here on earth, guess what? It's the same will in heaven. Nothing changed. If you go read the book of Joshua and Jubilees, it explains that. He tells you exactly what he's doing up there, he wants you to do down here. This is why the law is given to us so we can practice it. So when we get into the kingdom, we preach it now, and we try to learn it so we can practice it and do it when we get into the kingdom. If it is a sin now or frowned upon now, why will it be okay later? That's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
Some camps talk about, don't do it right now, we do it in the kingdom.
Makes no sense.
That makes no sense, Mishpachah.
They're creating their own laws when they do stuff like that, you know?
The only thing that has been put on hold is the sacrifices, because we have no high priest, we don't have a country at the moment, and that's put on hold for a time. We find that in the prophecies. Okay?
You know, when our children go to school and they learn about evolution, when they come home from school, we remove that nonsense from their head by telling them, no, evolution is not right, but learn your other subjects, right?
Yeah.
But when they go to church,
Take everything church says.
when they come home, they reinforce what the church is saying rather than reinforces what the word is saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yep,
So
yep,
you
yep.
can see the double standard there.
Will the patriarchs be in the kingdom? That's the question. Will their wives be in the kingdom? So will Abraham and Sarah be in the kingdom?
Absolutely.
Gideon, Jacob, Abraham.
Absolutely.
Will the Torah be used or be valid in the kingdom?
Will it be invalid in the kingdom? The answer, it will be in the kingdom.
Let's look at this last slide here, Mishpachah. Abraham was called from birth by the Most High. He had multiple wives. Jacob fought with an angel blessed by the Most High. He had multiple wives. Moses chosen by the Most High to be the lawgiver. He had multiple wives. Gideon selected by the Most High to be a leader during the time of the judges. He had multiple wives.
Correct.
David anointed. Not something that is readily available for everyone. That's like highly selected, anointed by the Most High as king. He had multiple wives.
That's right.
Solomon blessed with wisdom. Now, wisdom is something called the Holy Ruach. If y'all don't believe me, go read the book of Proverbs, go read the book of Sirach, go read the Torah, and you'll see wisdom is equal to the Holy Spirit. When I did the class in the mind of the Messiah, I showed you how wisdom is tied to the Holy Spirit. So Solomon had the Holy Spirit blessed with wisdom by the Most High. He had multiple wives.
Correct.
The problem, Mishpachah, that happened to David and Solomon, when David disobeyed because he broke the Torah by going after a married woman who was in contract, he got punished and the kingdom was taken away from him. But that don't mean he wasn't blessed. That don't mean that the rest of his life wasn't perfect.
It was demoted according to Christianity.
And Solomon took place. And then when Solomon got in his old age, meaning he wasn't in the Torah like he's supposed to be, he had made league with the other nations' women.
Married those women. Yeah.
And they took his heart away and brought in that satanic star and all the other stuff that you see, the Kabbalah and all the other stuff that they practice today. Witchcraft. So I guess the Most High messed up many times, Rebbe,
He hasn't gotten it right yet for some reason.
that he lost the count of
I'm
that.
sorry. He got it right with what we got going on right now. Go to any Christian church, and that will be the proof that the Most High has gotten it right, right?
Mishpachah, I hope we have some understanding with this long class today. that Brother Shea went through to ask the question, and I still didn't get the answer. Is it a sin to have more than one wife?
Is it a sin, Elder? Tell them, is it a sin?
No. I have two scriptures I request.
You have two scriptures requests?
Yeah, and I want you to go back to them.
Okay.
That is 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17. Ecclesiastic.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Going a little too fast there, Elder.
2 Timothy 3.
3:16 and
The
17.
Okay, 2 Timothy.
3,
Yeah, 16 and 17.
16 and 17.
Okay, let's read that one first.
All scripture is given by inspiration of Elohim and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
All good works.
Hallelujah.
And the next one?
The second is Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes
Ecclesiastes. How is it?
12.
12, 13, and 14.
Oh, it's talking about, okay, Ecclesiastes 12, 13, and 14. Okay. So we're going back to this. This is one of Elder's favorites. So let me bring it out for Elder. Where am I at? Right up here. Ecclesiastes 12. This is the whole duty. This is what we are supposed to do. No matter what the world says, Mishpachah.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For Elohim shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So on that note, Mishpachah, the Bible tells us that in order to be considered and to make it into the kingdom as an Israelite, you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. I, as Brother O'Shea, when I'm reading all of the Torah, I do not see any law that says it is wrong to have more than one wife, or that we have to. Okay? Again, this is a class not saying that we have to, and this is a class not saying that we can't. I'm just bringing the laws to you. So I hope we learned something today. I love you all, and I leave this with y'all.
All right, family, thank you so much for being patient. I know this is an extra long class. Next week, most high willing, we will continue to bring out some more things. It's probably not going to be as long, but it's going to be necessary to dive in the pages of the book. You will see things that you didn't see before. What O'Shea brought out was some of it is there, some of the people's names that you saw, and you're going to see much more in the volume of the book, okay? So with that said, we're going to close up with a word of prayer. Let us elder to render tefillah, and we're going to say shalom. Elder?
All praises to the Most High. Let us pray. I want to thank the Heavenly Father for Brother O'Shea, Brother Yona. The teaching today, it is what you call a special, very special. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your loving kindness. We thank you for the blessings on this holy Shabbat day. We pray, Holy Father, that thou may keep us, thou may bless us, bless our teachers, guide us and protect us. Help us, Father, to enjoy the rest of the day. We pray that thou may bless the offerings that is given and also the food, that those that give, Father, will be blessed, and those that did not give also will be blessed. Help us to enjoy the rest of the day, because we love you and we thank you, and we ask it all. Through your Son, Yeshua, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let
The words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts
be
be acceptable in your sight, O Yahweh,
who is our
strength
strength and our
Redeemer.
Love you all. Stay strong, stay sharp. We say shalom.